play highlights the World Cup. Sorsby says goodbye to college football, and the greens at Shinnecock Hills for the U.S. Open Golf Championship are like putting on an ice rink. Welcome in, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2. Also on the Arizona Sports app. And we are always presented by our great partnership with Lerner and Rowe. Injury attorneys, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. That's Lerner and Rowe. Manuch, how are you, pal?
I am doing excelente, senor. Muy importante de Roc y Manuch y Jimmy B.
Sí.
Es muy importante por the radio show. Es no Telemundo de 33. It is Roc and Manuch, ESPN. Es no ESPN Deportes al Máximo. It's just ESPN.
Sí.
Like that, Jimmy B?
I can't believe that we just did the entire Open in Spanish.
You know, it's just I get inspired watching the World Cup.
Yeah,
You're watching España. It's not Spain. It's España. Yeah, in fact, we're over in Italy, and we're talking about the World Cup, and they are bummed. There's no Italian team that's playing, so they're not happy.
No Italian stallion?
Yeah, exactly. And I said, well, you guys can fire Spain. They said, no, señor, es España. I went, okay. Even in Italy, which those people over there, great people. They speak like 25 different languages.
It's amazing.
They speak Italian, they speak German, they speak French, they speak Spanish.
Well, you can travel all those countries like within an hour.
Sure, you can.
I mean, that's how close it is.
But I love listening to the goal. I love the different dialects that are out there.
Oh.
By the way, Americanos, listen up. It's not Cape Verde. It's Cape Verde. Yeah, Cape Verde.
I know that caught me by surprise. Wait
a second. Yeah, we got Camp Verde out here. We got Camp Verde High School. We're out in the East Valley. Well, Verde, the color green, that's what it means. Mm-hmm. You want what kind of salsa you want? Verde, which is green salsa. Yeah, but it's Verde. Laz, did you know that it's Cape Verde and not Cape Verde? Did you know
Cape Verde,
that?
The smallest country in the World Cup. Where is it? I have no clue.
Yeah.
But that goalie stood on his head.
He did stand on his head.
Are they having a national holiday there? I mean,
the party is on in Cape Verde.
Oh, my gosh. It's a time. So, mi español es muy importante por Roc y Manuch. Not Jimmy. Jimmy B.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that I do.
No J.
No J. It's Jimmy.
Jimmy, like H.
Yes.
Like
H. Yes.
Like Humberto. It's, it's H-U. I'll teach you guys a little Spanish during this. By the way.
Uh-oh, here we go.
By the way, I got to do this. It happens every year on June 16th. Got to wish our top fan.
Oh, I thought you were going to announce that you were getting a colonoscopy again.
No, my sister, Diane Wonderly.
I like her.
She actually likes you, I think.
Okay.
She's in therapy for that.
Yeah, she's
been our number one fan since day one, going back circa 2004. So happy birthday to Diane Wonderly.
She's 29?
Give or take.
31-ish?
30,
yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Because you're the old man of the group.
If I was to tell you how old she is, I would get excommunicated from the Manuch
there's
house.
No question.
No, I don't want to tell how old she is. She's let's put it this way.
Yeah.
She's aging well. Let's put it that way. Happy birthday, Diane.
When she stops by the show, she looks great.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I like it when she comes in and talks to me and ignores you. It's wonderful.
Well, she's about the only person that will talk to you. Happy birthday, Diane.
There
Love
you go. Yeah, happy birthday,
Keep
Diane.
tuning in.
There you go.
By the way, she said you do have a great face for radio when she's
damn straight
on
I
YouTube.
Do. Yeah.
Let's go to Roc and Manuch on YouTube.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
She said, Jimmy, he just sounds so much taller than he is.
It's because I'm sitting in a high chair now.
Yeah,
that's why I'm the same height as you.
5'2", got the deep pipes, but
that's it.
It's not so much the presentation; it's the delivery. Right?
Let me get you the pipes. Get you a lot in this business. Trust me.
They get you a long ways.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
Talking with the pipes get you a long ways. Absolutely.
Speaking of a long ways, last night I'm watching the D-backs and the Angels. Manuch, I could watch Mike Trout hit all day long, and it's just awful that this player, as good as he is, and he is one of the best players in all of baseball, and for a few seasons was considered far and away the best player in Major League Baseball, but knee injuries, elbow injuries, shoulder injuries kept him from that. He hit a home run last night, he has 420 major league home runs, and nobody even knows it. Why? Because he's played his entire career on the Angels, and they never make a playoff. Never.
And he wanted to stay at the Angels.
He signed that big contract.
And you forget he's 34 years old.
Yes.
And he's quietly, to your point, has 16 home runs.
Yeah.
After that opposite field shot he hit off the end of the bat, that ball came in at, what they say, 98, went off his bat at 100, went to right field. But, he's got 33 RBIs, 16 home runs. He never really has hit for average. But I agree
he's around. He's over 290, 295 ish. He's in there.
He's 230 right now.
Well, I know what he is right now.
He hasn't been 290.
But his career average, I'm saying.
Okay, Laz.
Hey, Laz, look up Mike Trout's career average. I'm betting that it's over 290.
Then look at the last 5 years too, because I think that's what's hurt him.
Well, yes, that's when his injuries took hold too.
Jimmy B, that's why you're in this business.
Exactly right. Got to know
his career average is 291.
Thank you so much.
How many point off?
How many dingers has he got? Lifetime. Is it
420, I think.
420. Can you imagine if he would have been healthy just 2 of the last 5 years?
Yes.
He might be pushing 500, 550.
Oh, easy.
And the other thing, too, we failed to realize is how well he ran at one time. He used to run probably maybe not as fast as Corbin Carroll, but pretty damn fast.
Pretty fast. Yeah, he was quick.
He could scamper around the bases.
Yep.
At a guy that's 6'1", 235 pounds. But I thought the same thing watching that game last night. Just he had the base hit, and then even his base hits have got some juice on them.
I know.
Kabaya. Yeah. And then that opposite field home run was also. But yeah, he is fun to watch. I mean, between he, Adele, and then the first baseman Schonenfeld or whatever, that's to me. That's all they got. That's all they really have.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And the Diamondbacks should with these kind of games, these kind of teams, should win this series.
Yep.
And I think those are some of the things that they're going to have to start doing for the next, 4.5, 5 weeks before the All-Star break on July 14th.
It is Merrill Kelly who takes the bump tonight for the D-backs. Look, they win the game last night. Was a little iffy in the ninth inning. Seawall got tagged for a dinger, but they did close it out at 4-3. And as my esteemed colleague mentioned, this is a great team to sweep a series against. Once again, same two teams play again tonight downtown at the Yard. Okay, college football. So we can all take a deep breath. I have put the snorkel away because Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback at Texas Tech, came out and announced late last night that he is going to not play college football. Manuch, he did what you suggested he should do probably about 3 weeks ago, and that is enter the NFL supplemental draft.
Well, a couple things came down yesterday. Number one, the NCAA was trying to press for an appeal sooner rather than later. We had mentioned last week, or 2 weeks ago, when that appeal was given away by the judge out of Texas, some 300 miles away from Lubbock and from Fort Worth. Retired judge, by the way.
Yes,
but wasn't a Texas Tech grad.
He was not.
That confused. No. And overruled the NCAA to allow him to go ahead and play. Okay, so they're trying to get that appeal pushed up quick. Also, in the meantime, the conference, the Big 12 conference, they go ahead and they're looking to sue the state of Texas and the attorney general and say, you have no jurisdiction over our bylaws in the Big 12. And they were looking to go ahead and force that issue to also force him from playing. So all of a sudden, and I mentioned, like I told you about 2 weeks ago, this kid just needs to do the right thing. There's too much going on. There's too much distraction. They're going to come at you being the NCAA, the commissioner of the Big 12, all the athletic directors, guns a-blazing. They are not going to allow this to happen, no matter what the athletic director says or what their president says or whatever. What a joke that was, by the way, to have that video clip of all 5 or 6 of them
sitting at the table
talking about integrity and character. Are you kidding me, Coach McGuire? Seriously?
Yeah.
The best thing for character and integrity, with the respect you would have had, would have been, you know what? We're not going to allow him to play because he did gamble on his team as a freshman while he was playing, which is not allowed. Period. End of sentence. Full stop. So I thought, somebody got to Brendan Sorsby, had to be his agents, and said, look, kid, it's going to be an absolute nightmare no matter where you go, where you play. And number one, with the new suit coming from the commissioner of the Big 12 and the NCAA looking to press the judge or get the appeals process pushed sooner rather than later, and I'm sure they probably could have pull a few strings there. Those are some of the things I think he finally went, you know what, Uncle, I give, raise the right flag. And so now he's eligible for the supplemental draft. And we'll talk about that a little bit of Football 50, what's entailed with that supplemental draft.
I'm looking forward to that. Every time I turn the TV on, even the late night talk shows now have the New York Knicks on. Last night, everybody had them on. It was nuts. And the fans, and rightfully so, in New York, just going absolutely crazy. It's a different scene in San Antonio, which leads us to our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day. By the way, contact State 48 Roofing. Remember, you get a free roof inspection, and you can keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. It's Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Visit state48roofing.com or just call them at 480-268-4509. Here is the question all about the San Antonio Spurs. What was your evaluation of Spurs center Victor Wembanyama after the NBA Finals against the Knicks? You have 4 options. 1, he's a superstar. 2, doesn't meet the hype. 3, needs to mature. 4, and this, I know Manuch put this on here, he's a dirty player. A dirty player. Just go to Roc and Manuch on X, also Instagram. Cast your vote, and we will update everybody throughout the course of the show. It's a good question because right now he is the villain in the NBA.
Matter of fact, I put slash Danny Ainge, slash Bill Lambier,
slash Dennis Rodman,
or slash Big Shot Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have gone on and on, but yeah, I was inspired with all the talk from all the pundits and all the guys after watching it. Roc and I talked about this yesterday. I'm underwhelmed and this and just so much of the pros and Hall of Famers that threw out some things that you kind of went, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So I just thought I'd let that marinate, folks, and just go to @Roc and Manuch on X, as Jimmy alluded to, and also on Instagram.
All right, coming up next, it's our world famous replay rewind. We're just getting started. We roll all the way until 4 o'clock today. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata, and you're invited to the 12th annual Walk with Enoch, a fun-filled event led by my friend Enoch, a 14-year-old boy who lives with autism. Join us June 27th from 9 to 1 p.m. at the Ability 360 indoor track. You'll help special needs families find rest and renewal at our Johnny and Friends family retreats. Come walk with us. Visit johnnyandfriends.org/walk for details.
At the Y, strength means something different. It means people of all ages being together. It means you can be swishing the game-winning shot, learning to plie in first position, jabbing, crossing, and hooking a punching bag, canoeing in the lake at summer camp, donating food for your neighbors, watching your son learn about water safety in the pool. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
It's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in replay rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, everybody, you can't get rid of us that easy. We're here for another 3 hours and 45 minutes, so, or at least 2 hours and 45 minutes. Did I do the math right? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Help me out, Manuch. Come on, you're the mathematician.
K-State math, Jimmy B.
Yeah, come on, man.
You got that.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Say we're on till 4 o'clock.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're on.
Keep it the simple math.
Okay, we're on.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep. No, I can't do that. You know that. I'm stupid, but I can't keep it simple. Let's get to the replay rewind last night. The aforementioned Mike Trout, who we had a real nice discussion about. And once again, Laz proved that I was correct again. Here we go. Here we go, top of the fifth inning.
The 0-1, there's a swing. That ball's drilled out to deep right field. Carroll going back, looking up, and there it goes. It might not have been number 500, but it's number 16 on the year. And Mike Trout has tied the game at 2.
Thank you to our sister station 98.7 for the highlight.
He is the quietest 16 home runs.
I'm with you.
In Major League Baseball.
Nobody talks about it.
We'll catch up with Barry Bloom here from Boomski at Boomski.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball writer talk about there's several All-Stars that will not be playing. We'll get into that. But, Mike Trout quietly staying healthy.
Yes.
Knock on wood. Hope I didn't jinx you, Mike. 16 home runs, hitting the ball very, very well. Not so much for average anymore, but just creating enough of a stir to get those Angels fans to vote him in.
Here's a quick Mike Trout story, real fast. About 5, maybe 6 years ago, I'm out playing golf. It's in March when spring training is here. And I'm on the first tee with a couple other guys. And coming up on us for the next tee is Mike Trout and a couple players. So I recognized who he was, but I didn't say anything. And we all hit our shots and went to the
you
next.
You want to be fanboy, huh?
No, I don't do that. Nope, I don't do that. And I'm not a big guy like even guys in this business. They go and they want autographs or photos. I've never done that. At any rate.
You could have got him some digits for Roc and Manuch and Jimmy P. That's not fanboy. That's like doing your job.
That's doing my job. So at any rate, the next hole's a par 3. So we had to wait for the group in front of us to clear the green. So here comes the baseball guys, and they're sitting there. And so, we just strike up a conversation. So we all hit our shots again, and this is the fun part. Now we take off and head to the green. They're back at the tee box. And the guys that I'm playing with, Jim, is that Mike Trout? Is that Mike Trout? I said, yeah, that's Mike freaking Trout. Oh, God, I got to get – no, you don't. I got to get it. No, you don't. No, we're going to go play golf. They're here to play golf. Let them play golf and enjoy their afternoon. I'm telling you, fans drive me nuts sometimes.
They could have got very easily – got a selfie or photo. They would have never, and you would have been the hero. Jimmy. No. They probably kicked you out of that foursome after not allowing to get some kind of a photo.
We laughed about it.
Mike Trout.
No, I wouldn't. I said, no, we got to keep playing. Let them just be boys and let them play. So that's my Mike Trout story from a few years
3
back.
minutes for all that. You could have just say, hey, Bob, you could have got that done in 10 seconds, Jimmy B.
No,
more,
maybe 12.
More.
Maybe
less,
12 seconds.
This more. All right, let's move on.
All right, let's get to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Here's the 1-1. David swings, hits a high fly ball down the right field line, headed towards the corner. Fair or foul, off the pole.
A dinger for Pavin, and it breaks the 2-2 deadlock for his first of the year. Diamondbacks 3, Angels 2.
Boy, he needed that, Manuch. She'd been struggling.
It's about freaking time. Pavin Smith hitting 152. Had a chance to listen to some of the pregame before the game, and Torey Lovello did say, "Hey, look, we did press him a little early in his rehab.
Yeah,
they wanted him up here, so he felt." And Torey said, "Hey, look, we feel he's finally going to start getting into his groove." And then he also kind of cautioned that with like, we need him to, because at some point in time we may have to make some difficult decisions.
Yes.
And so it's nice to see Pavin Smith, go 2 for 4, hit the ding off the foul pole. I mean, he got all that. I mean, the guy's a good hitter. He just can't talk about a guy that can't stay healthy. And he's been one of those guys, been in and out of the lineup for the last several years.
Right on that.
I mean, this guy was a top pick for the Diamondbacks
Yeah, he was.
several years ago. So not as if he can't hit. He's just, he gets hurt. He gets out of rhythm. He's got to get back into rhythm. He gets hurt, gets out of rhythm, got to get back into rhythm.
So then we get to the bottom of the 7th inning as we continue on, and we get an insurance run from Perdomo.
Swung on, hits that towards left center field. Long run for Wade Meckler. He can't reach it. That's going to split the gap and go all the way to the wall. Marte rounding third. He will come home to score, and Perdomo's RBI doubles the lead. It's now 4-2.
Well, they needed that because Seawall gave up a dinger in the 9th.
Yeah, that was a huge insurance run. And on top of that, we've been talking about when you move Perdomo down to the 7th spot, how productive he is. He gets moved to the number 2 spot yesterday. I think he's earned his way back into the 2 or the 3 spot, and I think that's what Torey Lovello wanted to see. And therein lies that huge base hit. He has 1 base hit. He has the RBI, which really came into fruition. And he walked twice.
Yeah.
So he got on base. You move Carroll down. And I think, let's just see if he can remain consistent, stay at that number 2 spot. Doubt if he'll go back to 3. And then from that particular standpoint, you just kind of wait and see if he can make them. And Marino got moved down. Marino got moved down to the 4 spot.
Right.
Feel a little confident about Gabby hitting the deep ball the night before.
All right. Into the locker room we go. Here's the skipper talking about the big hit by Pavin Smith.
Pavin is just so steady with his emotions, and you don't know if he's feeling too high or if he's feeling too low. But with every swing that he's taken in the cage, I feel like he's getting closer to that feeling that he's looking for. He's a field swinger. He wants to be able to find the barrel, and it just takes a little time to sync things up. So it was just great to watch him have that moment. It was special for him, and I knew, and in my gut, I felt like that time was coming because I always said Pavin can hit.
Well, Manuch talked a little bit about the struggles of Pavin Smith. Here he is discussing how frustrating this stretch has been.
Yeah, it's been extremely frustrating. I mean, especially after my first 2 games in LA, I felt like I was seeing the ball really well. First 2 really good pitchers, the first 2 games of the year. And then, to get the news, I have to get surgery and be out for 2 months and kind of lose all my timing and lose everything. That a lot of hitting is definitely feels, and it's hard to get those feels back. So the last, I would say 5-6 days, I've just kind of stopped, overanalyzing, looking at video, because I'm just kind of try to be a baseball player again and just kind of just feel it in the box instead of, overanalyzing everything.
It's interesting playing baseball for so many years, and we would talk about slumps and had a coach, Ron Davini, who's one of the outstanding coaches, one of the best catchers at ASU, won a national title. He coached us at McClintock. He went all state at Corona del Sol, won a state championship as a baseball coach. He'd say, look, the heck with slumps, see white and crush. Just see it, hit it, move it, hit it where it's pitched. And he would really learn how to teach us to simplify things instead of getting frustrated like Pavin Smith. Of course, when you're making all the money they're making, they're getting frustrated. But that was the most simple advice I ever got for hitting. See white and crush, see it all the way to the bat, swing through it, and move on. It's like easy for you to say, Ron.
Yeah, you're not in the box with a 98-mile-per-hour heater coming in on you. Let's quickly get to the World Cup because my esteemed colleague, the one, the only, Dan Manucci, corrected everybody on the pronunciation of Cape Verde. It is not Verdi. It is Verde. And guess what? We've got the time running down and the way that they stunned Spain with a tie.
This is a win.
They're celebrating.
It's over. It's over. It is a win in every possible way for Cape Verde in their first ever World Cup game. A 0-0 draw with the European champion Spain.
I mean, that is stunning. You tied Spain, and so everybody, oh my God, we tied Spain. Oh my God, look at what we did. We tied Spain.
Jimmy, them tying Spain.
Yeah.
Is like winning World War III. Trust me. And by the way, the American, matter of fact, the American guy was corrected. I mentioned it's Cape Verde.
Yeah,
you
called it Verde.
España. You're supposed to say Spain. It's supposed to be España. They're supposed to lay the culture down. The Spain get a little offended if you throw Spain / España. I'm not even getting mentioned. But that tie, that might be one of the greatest ties in World Cup history. 0-0, you get a tie with Spain.
It's like kissing your sister. That's what it is. Hey, today's replay rewind presented by Lerner and Rowe. Interact, need a check, just make one call. 602-977-1900, always at lernerandrowe.com. Once again, one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. What in the wide world of sport is going on here with the Chicago White Sox in first place in the American League Central? Plus, you've got big-time star power that most likely will not play in the All-Star game. We're going to get to Major League writer Barry Bloom. He is coming up next. But right now, here's an ESPN 620 Sports Center radio update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs took the first of 3 from the Los Angeles Angels last night as a Pavin Smith home run helped propel Arizona to a 4-3 win at Chase Field. The Snakes will look to lock up the series tonight as Merrill Kelly gets the start for Arizona. And first pitch is set for 6:40 with pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Twin Peaks is saying thank you to its biggest fans, and today get a cheeseburger and fries for just $7.99 with the purchase of any beverage. That's a juicy, made-from-scratch burger, crispy fries, and ice-cold beer served at 29 degrees, all for just $7.99. It's Customer Appreciation Day at all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. Come hungry, leave happy, only at Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks with eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
Celebrate Father's Day this year at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get Dad dialed in with Ping Scottsdale Tech putters. The new mallets introduce IQ alignment technology. Each model improves your focus to sink more putts. Need more ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards in any amount, plus our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
Are you a dementia caregiver? Perhaps you care for your spouse, family member, or friend. Whoever it is, being a dementia caregiver can build relationships and test them. I'm Bill, and I want to thank you for the care you have provided. I've faced similar situations, so I'm speaking on behalf of the Dementia Society of America, a nonprofit organization. Request our free guide filled with tips on care, planning, and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, we roll till 4 o'clock. We're going to do some baseball right now. It's always fun when we get a chance to hang out with Barry Bloom, the senior contributor for Boomski on Baseball for Forbes. And you can find him on X at Boomski. That's at Boomski. Barry, welcome, pal, as always. So Manuch and I began the show. We had a conversation about Mike Trout. And really, it was a conversation about what could have been if not this player had all of the injury issues that he has had his entire Major League Baseball career. And Manuch made a good point, which is rare. But
I'll take it.
But he said,
I'll take it.
But he basically said he's got 16 home runs. It's the quietest 16 home runs in Major League Baseball. Welcome to the show. How do you respond to that?
Well, first of all, are you sure you don't have Bob Nightingale on right now?
No. God. Boomski.
We called you, Barry. Barry's the best.
Really the first, 10 years, 11 years of his career, he was pretty much injury-free.
Right.
And it's been really the last 4 or 5 years since COVID. He played part of a COVID season, then it's just been one thing after another. It's kind of like Mickey Mantle, even Aaron Judge, when you look at his career, I just documented it the other day. You had rib injuries, toe injury, oblique injury. You had an elbow injury last year. There's always something. I think just it's tough in this era to stay completely injury-free. And I was amazed when I looked it up, because I watched Mantle for a good part of his career as a kid, that he only missed 127 games for injury. You always thought he was out because he was always preparing or playing through an injury. And not only had all the knee injuries, but he scaled the wall one year, I think it was 1963, and got his cleats stuck in a chain link fence going up for a ball and broke his ankle. I mean, there's a lot of guys that you could say, if it wasn't for the fact that they had injuries, it's amazing what would happen in his career. And, to just kind of like circle back around on this, I mean, Bob and I waited out Trout last night because he was refusing to do interviews. And, and I told the young PR guy from the Angels, who was very nice and very sweet, he was going back and forth between Trout, and he goes, well, I don't know. I don't think he's going to do the interview. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to wait it out. He goes, until you kick me out of the locker room. I've done this before.
Yes.
And I go, you go back and tell Mike it's Bob Nightingale and me, and that if he doesn't come out, we're going to rip the hell out of him. So the the kid, it's his credit. He just laughed.
Yeah.
And, and he went back in again. And so ultimately, Mike came out, got dressed, and it was just Bob and I, and the rest of the locker room was empty already. And, we talked to him for about 10, 15 minutes. And, and he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is that yesterday he came out in the All-Star voting with the second amount of votes for American League outfielders, just behind Judge, who, that's obvious, but he's not going to play.
Right.
So, really, Mike has got the top votes right now among active players, and I think Bellinger was third. So for him to get back to this point where he is after the years of injury, particularly with that knee, I think is absolutely amazing. And I think the long and the short of it is, it's more amazing to me not what he would have done in his career if he didn't have the injuries, but even while he was playing, that he still has only one playoff series he's ever played in, and he's never won a playoff game in all these years. And that was the kind of the last question. The PR guy stood there, and he was trying to break it up after a while. And I said, I've got one more question. He goes, oh, no, that's it. And then Mike goes, what do you got? So I go, well, I mean, after all these years, don't you want to win at some point? I mean, have you talked to Artie? I mean, Judge goes to Steinbrenner and talks to them all the time about how he builds the team. And he said, well, those conversations are going to stay between me and him. I'm not going to talk about it publicly. So I go, well, that means at least you talk to him.
Yeah.
And, he wouldn't even acknowledge that. But, I mean, really, for a guy like Trout at his stature, and I know he signed a long contract there. He's very comfortable there. He's never going to get traded out of there. He's going to play his whole career there because that's where he wants to be. He doesn't want to be in Philadelphia being hounded by the Phillies fans if he's injured and doesnn't play well. In Anaheim, they accept what he is. And then getting back to your original premise, it's the quietest 16 homers because he's playing in Anaheim.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. And the fact is that the Angels are terrible again, and he's the only real light on the team. You look at it, it's not even a bunch of up-and-coming kids like the White Sox, where the White Sox put together a team that had been horrendous. But you look at the White Sox now, and I've done a bunch of them, and they're just fun to watch with a really good young pitching staff and a lot of good young players. And the Japanese baseball player who's out now, who really changed the whole context of the team. The Angels don't even have that at this point. They have Tim and Joe Adele, and that's pretty much it. And a pitching staff that is kind of questionable, no bullpen. So if I were him, it would kind of eat me up, but I don't think it does. I mean, Mike is Mike. I've known him since he was a kid. He's the same temperament every day. Doesn't matter, good, bad. I think if he's in a bad mood, he just won't come out and talk. But when he does talk, bad times, good times, he's always the same. So he's a Hall of Famer. It's going to be whatever. You can look back on his career and say what if about a lot of things, but you can do that with a lot of players.
Barry Bloom, senior contributor for Boomski on baseball for Forbes, joining us here on the right Toyota guest line. Barry, you alluded to a little bit, and Jimmy and I talked about the All-Star game coming up, July 14th, and your article alluding to that Judge probably not going to be at the game. Raleigh probably not going to be there. Betts and Tucker to miss the All-Star game. Kind of elaborate a little bit on how a year later how things can change just like that. But the Cal Raleigh thing, I know he's battling a couple injuries, but Betts and Tucker seem to have dropped off the map since he got with the LA Dodgers.
Well, I don't think he had a particularly great year last year with the Cubs. He was good for a while. There were a lot of injuries. He's playing through a lot of things. I'm not, sure what's going on with him. Since I wrote this column, of course, the All-Star voting came out, and Betts was a pretty close second in the All-Star voting. So, with LA fans and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets voted to the All-Star team anyway.
Sure.
And he goes over there with a 200 average, and he's the starting shortstop, so which will prove me wrong. But I think if he's not the number one, he's not going to go. I don't see the players voting him in. Or the number two, he may be, he may be put in because he's the number two. But I think it just shows that if you look at the older players in the game, and Judge is even one of them. Yeah, of course he was playing with a rib injury for a while, but his batting average is down, something like 80 points from last year when he led the league. And his OPS is down considerably. And he still hits some home runs. But I think guys get to 34, 35 now, and it's a tough game for older players to play. I was reading this thing that a friend of mine puts together on injuries, and he was saying that the hamate bone injuries, there's a speculation, and I didn't even know this. It's like you cover the game and you don't know these things until you read about it. But half the teams in the league, if not more, are using this pitching machine that throws 100 miles an hour. And players are taking 100 swings a day against 100-mile-an-hour pitching on a hitting machine to get ready for game action of pitchers throwing 95 to 100 and beyond. And when you're 35 years old, like Manny is almost 34, Arenado's 35. I mean, Freeman is making his adjustments. He's 36. I mean, to hit, your bat speed decreases, and you're used to even hitting 95-mile-an-hour pitching, and now you're hitting 100-mile-an-hour pitching at 36 years old. And I think that, that's what, just from my unlearned, unscientific, view of it, that's really what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that guys can't, the pitching is so good and so hard. It's like Manny said the other day in one of the discussions about his problems, that, you got guys like Yamamoto who have 8 different pitches. Mm-hmm. And Darvish had 8 different, they come over from Japan with all these pitches. So not only do you have to get ready for one or another, you don't know, and they have disguises. Their second, their sliders and sweepers look like 2, 4-stitch fastballs and, 2-seam fastballs, and they approach the plate, and you have 0.5 seconds to make a decision on swinging at a pitch. So if you think it's a strike coming through on a fastball that's going to be in a certain part of the zone, and it flips to another part of the zone when you're already making a decision to swing, you have no chance. I mean, you don't need to be analytical about this or a mathematician to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And so there are less and less people that in the game, because of the way the game is going, at that age are going to be able to stay in, which means that owners themselves have to start making adjustments, and they can't sign these guys at 29 years old the contracts that are going to take them into their 40s, because they're going to be dead contracts from 34 to 40. I mean, what's going to happen to Manny when you're paying him $31 million a year till 2033?
You're right.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing with Mookie.
Yeah,
you're paying him $31 million till the early 2030s, and if he's having problems now, what's going to happen when he's 38, 39 years old?
See, this is why we have you on the show, because all of our listeners just got a major lesson on Major League Baseball.
Scientific approach to the
Damn
hamate
straight,
bone.
man. Yeah, yeah. It's always good, pal. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it.
Hey, look, anytime. Great to be on.
Thank you, man. There you go. Barry Bloom. You can find him on X at Boomski. Hey, look, he's presented by our favorite pizza place. It's Venezia's. That's right. 7 locations in the Valley. And if you want to get your order in and then just go pick it up, just go online. Venezias.com. Venezias.com. Make it Venezia's. Sensational pizza. All right, when we come back, on this day, a little football at 50. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people, with upfront pricing before the work starts, so there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Life can throw a lot your way. For some, that includes first episode psychosis, or FEP. It can feel overwhelming, like hearing or seeing things that aren't there, or feeling disconnected from reality. The good news? FEP can be treated. Recovery can include medication, therapy, and support from peers. There are programs across Arizona with people who understand and are ready to walk with you. It all starts with one click. Visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MapForce, working to build healthier communities.
Living and having fun in the hot summer sun can turn deadly when mixed with stimulants. Stimulant drugs raise body temperature, impair the brain's ability to regulate heat, and makes it harder for the heart to cope with extreme heat. Studies show 1 in 5 heat-related deaths have involved meth, a stimulant that overheats the body, putting users at higher risk. Be aware and stay safe. Meth and heat is a deadly mix. Visit thenewmeth.com.
Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Once again, we roll till 4 o'clock this afternoon. It is indeed on this day presented by Right Toyota. Manuch, what do you got?
We're going to start off with 1968 U.S. Open Golf at Oak Hill Country Club.
Okay.
The Merry Mex, the amigo.
Lee Trevino
wins his first major title by 4 shots from Jack Nicklaus. Wow. He's the first golfer to play all 4 rounds of the U.S. Open under par.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Just down in El Paso, he is the icon for El Paso down there, El Pasonians. 1975, I'll never forget this. I'm like, what are you doing, Milwaukee? The Bucks traded Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and reserve center Walt Wesley to the Lakers for center Elmore Smith, forward David Myers, guard Brian Winters, and swingman Junior Bridges. That was like, you're doing what? But
Junior Bridges was a really good player.
And had a great career. Brian Winters,
he was good too.
Outstanding swingman. So that all came down to the Lakers. That's when the dynasty started to happen.
That is correct. Once they got Magic after that trade, man, oh man, they just took off.
Very interesting. Back in 1978 on this day, June 16th, Tom Seaver pitched the only no-hitter of his brilliant career. Now, Seaver strikes out 3 and walks 3 as the Cincinnati Reds defeat my Cardinals 4-0 at Riverfront Stadium. Seaver had barely missed pitching no-hitters on 3 previous occasions, losing the bid each time in the 9th inning. Talk about frustration. That's when they pitched complete games.
Yes.
Time in and time out. But there was 3 other opportunities. where he lost it in the last inning. So that's on this day, June 16th, going way back.
You know, it's interesting you talk about one hitters because Nolan Ryan holds the record for most one hitters. 12 one hitters.
Think about that.
Wow.
12. And how many?
He has 7 no hitters.
7 no hitters.
Yeah.
Just take half of that.
Yeah, I know. That'd be 13.
It's just
13 no hitters.
Strictly amazing. So
all right, there you go.
Stay there, Jimmy B.
I thank you, my brother. All right, let's get to a little football at 50. It is indeed presented by Victory Plumbing, Arizona. Hey, look, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it right. It's Victory Plumbing. They offer up front pricing before the work even begins. So when the work is done, there are no surprises. By the way, if you mention the 3 coolest guys on radio, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, they waived the service charge. Here's all you have to do to get them to come to your place. VictoryPlumbingArizona.com. Just go online, VictoryPlumbingArizona.com. Manuch, what do you have?
Well, this came down about 6:30 last night after a flurry of legal activity over the past week, which further muddled the path to eligibility of one Brendan Sorsby. Cody Campbell, the chairman of the Texas Tech Board of Regents, said in a lengthy statement, I won't read it, Monday night that Sorsby will not be part of the Texas Tech football team this fall and called the supplemental draft the only viable and fair path for Sorsby's future. Now, a couple things came down yesterday that I think kind of led to this scenario. Basically, the Big 12 filed for a federal injunction Monday morning for the right to potentially discipline Sorsby under its rules. Also, the NCAA separately asked an appeals court for an expedited resolution to the local case, requesting a decision on his eligibility to be made by the start of the football season. So there lies, Campbell said, Texas Tech will not seek the return of any money and of any money. Jim, did I say any money?
You said any money.
They're not seeking the Last, did you hear this? They're not seeking the return of any money.
Wow.
Paid to Sorsby through his NIL agreements with the university. Oh my gosh.
How do I get that gig?
You do something illegal and you win the Powerball on top of all that? How does that happen, Les?
You think he'll use some of that money to make some sports bets?
Oh! Wow.
Spoken like a true degenerate that you are.
Coming from the young guy over there. By the way, okay, so Les, what were the odds for him to actually stay?
I'm sure I could find them, and I'm sure he might have bet on it.
Didn't I ask you about a week ago with is it Kalshi? Kalshi? I said,
Kalshi.
Yeah, Kalshi.
Wasn't there a bet? I said, hey, look at the odds of whether Sorsby stays or not. And I think you looked it up, and it was in favor that he was, I think, going to stay. But I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. He should do the right decision.
Yeah, you did.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
Go apply for the supplemental draft and move it off.
All right, before you get off of it,
I think
it's almost ironic that you can make a bet on whether a guy is going to leave college football or stay because he's in trouble for betting. Very full circle.
It's
amazing.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so if he's in the supplemental draft, how good is he?
He's very good. He's damn good.
He's damn good.
Yeah, he has to apply by June 22nd,
Right.
Early next week. He has to apply.
Okay.
So from that standpoint, he can start going and doing pro days. I saw here on the TV here on ESPN, I think July 10th is a pro date.
Okay.
So the draft isn't really until like close to the opening of training camp.
Oh, wow.
Matter of fact, I remember my rookie year in Buffalo. We started the camp for rookies started 1 week, and then the veterans came in the following week.
Sure.
During that rookie camp, they had a supplemental draft. We got a running back during the week. I'm like, what's a supplemental draft? So he joined us. So long story short, at this pro day, July 10th, there might be several teams there.
Oh, yeah.
He might start making his rounds before they do the supplemental draft. So I don't know exactly when the supplemental draft is, Laz.
And you guys will get a good kick out of this. Bleacher Report posts an article, Top NFL Landing Spots for Brendan Sorsby After Declaring for the Supplemental Draft. You know who number 1 on that list is?
Hold it. Is it the Arizona Cardinals?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Wow. What about the Jets?
Arizona Cardinals are listed at number 1.
Okay.
Cleveland Browns at number 2.
wow.
Miami Dolphins at number 3.
I could see that.
The Jets at 4.
Okay.
And 5, the Steelers.
I could see that too.
I could see. Well, the Steelers are a little conservative that way, so they probably won't be going toward anybody that's gambled away $90,000.
Yeah.
in over several years. I could see the Cardinals taking a good hard look at him.
Sure.
I could see the Jets. The Jets right now, that might be his best opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I think the Cardinals probably feel pretty good about with Beck and at the 3rd round pick. But you look at both of those kids, I really like, Sorsby as a quarterback.
I know you do. You said that many times.
I watched him last year. I really liked how he moved, how he threw the ball. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of vetting. I'm sure they'll talk to him, his agents, about his mental status, about the gambling. But I think they'll work him out. He's been working out. I mean, he's not as if he's after his 35.
He's not just not sitting on his can.
He probably took his football with him to therapy, the 35-day therapy, whatever. But it'll be very interesting to see who steps up because it's like a bid process.
Yeah.
Your 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, what have you. And then at that point in time, by the way, I hate to do it. What are the odds that he goes within the first 5 rounds of the supplemental?
You read my mind. Kalshi has the Jets as the favorites and the Cardinals right behind them.
Wow. It's amazing.
Kalshi is on it.
That's the stigma of Brendan Sorsby. So sorry, Red Raider fans. He's moving on. He did the right things.
He did do the right thing.
He had to be the adult in the room and move on.
Yeah,
from
when
this
the
fiasco.
adults could not be the adults.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, coming up hour number 2, we're going to dive into the NBA Finals and how everybody in New York has just absolutely lost their minds. The Diamondbacks have a game tonight against the Angels at the Yard as well. It's all coming up next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD-2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more. Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there.
Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked.
So what do we do?
How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bid?
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man. You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangedaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
Here's the 1-1. David swings, hits a high fly ball down the right field line, headed towards the corner. Fair or foul, off the pole! A dinger for Pavin, and it breaks the 2-2 deadlock for his first of the year. Diamondbacks 3, Angels 2.
About damn time. They need him to get that bat going a little bit.
Was he the scrutiny over the weekend by everybody, their mother?
Yes.
Hey, yo, Skip, this Pavin Smith guy?
Yeah.
Today sometime already. Let's go. But hey, right on cue.
Yeah, he delivered.
It's 2 hits, gets a dinger.
Yep. Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. A win last night, 4-3. And the same 2 teams play again tonight downtown at the Yard. Now, we're going to jump on the Diamondbacks here in just a moment, but Manuch has found a breaking baseball story, and it'll make you cry when you hear it.
Well, Tarek Skubal, who's been rumored, coming off his injury to be dealt at the trade deadline by the Detroit Tigers, currently right now on the shelf, so to speak, at 3-3, 281 ERA, 49 strikeouts, a whip of 0.98. Why doesn't this surprise us, guys?
Okay, yeah.
The LA Dodgers are making a strong push. Not that they're going to, hide that from anybody in particular. They're making a strong push to try to acquire Tarek Skubal. It doesn't surprise me.
No, me either.
That's a team because as of next year, here's the deal, guys. When this new CBA comes in, hard cap and all, so you might as well go ahead and make hay while you can, ring the bell while you got the cash, spend the money, and try to secure your 3rd straight World Series title.
Yes.
Going after a guy like Skubal. So here would be the basic. I'll give you the starting rotation, lads. You'll love this. So it's Ohtani would be the ace, Skubal, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Rublinski, and then Sheehan. So you could
and add Glass now in there when he's healthy.
Oh, exactly. By the way, so I just look at that and go, well, why would they not acquire him?
And Blake Snell.
Yeah. They got a lineup. They got guys on the back end that are like, if you go down, I go down. I mean, if somebody goes down, they backfill with Cy Young Award winners.
Correct.
So I just thought you guys got to kick that. Just hit like during the break that Skubal looks to be the odds-on favorite, the Dodgers. But there's probably 5 or 6 other contenders that'll probably.
I'm sure there are several teams that'll make a move, but wouldn't you think that it's probably the Dodgers who most likely could offer the most?
Laz, what's his nut right now? Is he?
I beg your
40, 45, 45 a year, somewhere like that. They want to unload the contract, obviously, because Detroit's going nowhere fast. So as you look that up, just let us know, because you look at that, you got Ohtani, who's I think this is his second year, only making $7 million a year.
So he's got $32 million guaranteed this year, but it goes up the next 2 years after that. I think they're just trying to unload the contract because they know they're going nowhere fast and they could get a haul for it.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're going to unload that. But I mean, the Dodgers like, we'll take him.
Yeah.
The thing that's going to be interesting, though, is if this agreement does get passed, because just so you know, folks, the players are pushing hard on this cap. They don't want the hard cap. Majority owners, I think, do, but it's going to come to the Players Association that they're like, well, if you're going with a hard cap, that's going to limit me as a baseball player as far as the comps that are out there. So if you're an up-and-coming pitcher and you're compared to Ohtani and you've got that kind of stuff and you got that kind of talent. Now, Ohtani's contract, it's a weird contract. It's a hitting, pitching.
Right.
It's a baseball player contract. It's not just a pitcher, just not a hitter. It's a combination of all the above. But pitching-wise, if you look at some of the top pitchers and you're an up-and-comer, so you're making $14 million this year. And your contract's up, and your comp is compared to, we'll use Skubal.
32 mil.
32 mil. Well, here's the deal. We got a cap now. We can only pay you 25. So that's limiting the players. Guys, this is why the heartburn from the players is so much. It's because with the hard cap, you're limiting them for the market that's already set.
Yes.
So if you get a new market in 2027, you may have to go somewhere else versus staying.
Okay.
And then those other teams got to go, well, if I'm paying you 32 and I got this guy's making 35 and he's making 25, what the Players Association is saying you're limiting our value because you've instilled a new rule that won't allow you to pay us fair market price.
All right, but why does it work then for the NBA, the NHL, and the NFL?
Because that was put in place many years ago.
I understand that, but it still works.
It still works.
And big name players still make big bucks.
So let me tell you what the difference is now. Is that you've got a slew of players on the Dodgers making big bucks, correct?
That is right.
You're keeping the championship alive, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the difference. In football, basketball, and even say hockey, you can only keep so many of those guys, and you probably won't have a chance to keep the championships going. So that guy's got to go to the market. You know what? We can't pay you max. We can pay you this. No, I deserve max, but we can't keep you. So what happens, guys, is you start to see the championships break up. They talked about that with the Knicks. Wait for these guys, the 5 starters with their contracts. They can handle it now. But once Catman's new contract comes up, and don't you know that Jalen Brunson, once his new contract comes up, he's going to want some of that $100 million back.
He's going to want a max.
That he acquiesced. So there's the difference, Jimmy, is in football and basketball, and I think hockey. I'm not quite sure.
No, hockey has a cap.
Okay, so you can't keep the band together.
I understand.
You got to disperse the band so you don't get the championship. That's in baseball.
Right.
You can keep the band together.
Yes,
forever.
If you're a big market team that can afford the band,
it's okay. That's right. Yeah.
All right. So what the cap does is it allows places like Green Bay, Jacksonville, to be as competitive as New York.
But here's the thing: those small markets that you alluded to can only pay so many top players. So you see
everybody has that issue with the cap.
Okay, and that's the thing. So the owners wanted that. The players said, okay, if you're going to revenue share over 50, 60%, we'll acquiesce to that in football. We'll acquiesce to that in basketball. Baseball's like, I don't care about no distribution or profits coming from all that. We want our cash. That's the difference. So it's basically it's those players, the revenue sharing. So you've got revenue share with that.
I understand.
In Major League Baseball, so baseball's like, hey, tough. If you can't manage your money, you don't have the money, don't come to us to be competitive.
But the owners have finally come to their senses and say, okay, we have to do something. So if this is the case, with the money that is out there and the type of money that a 230 hitter makes, $6, $7, $8, $10 million a year, will they go on strike?
Well, I think there may be.
If you're making $10 million and you hit 225, 230, you're going to go on strike?
Well, you know what? Under the new rules, they probably are. I will say this. They're going to probably. Now, here's the thing. In the National Football League, there was profit sharing that helped out. There was benefit. There's a lot of things that help acquiesce for the hard cap salary. So that's why in the National Football League, you see so many guys moving on from this team to that team because they get paid more and more. They get paid more money this contract, more money that contract, because their team they're with can't afford to keep them.
But see, I don't have heartburn over that. I really don't.
The players do.
No, I don't. No. If they want to move, I don't have heartburn. You missed what I said. If I don't have heartburn over players moving to other teams. So in other words, you have in the NBA and the NFL, if a guy wants a max and they say we can't do that, okay, trade me. Then trade me to somebody who can pay me.
Well,
I'm okay with that.
Okay, you are, but the fans of that team, they want to keep the band together as long as they can and win championships. You think those fans in New York want to see this team get broken up because there's a cap that can't afford these guys?
Oh,
hell no, they don't.
I know where you're going.
They don't. They
wanted them to trade Catman. They wanted Karl Anthony Towns traded in the middle of the season. Come on, they're dopey fans. They're dopes.
Here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
The National Football League's got parity all about.
They do.
Because the players got something in return. They also got their free agency, which they can go make more money somewhere else.
Correct.
The rub of that is a lot of guys would rather just stay where they're at and continue to win championships. That's why In the NBA, you've seen 8 different teams win the NBA title.
That is right.
Because you can't keep those guys together.
That's what makes it fun.
Remember, we talk about the Suns. They can only keep 1 or 2 guys, pay that kind of money before they got to deal them off. And then the cycle continues unless you get guys that are all there for at least a short period of time.
Right. You probably have a 3-year window. Is that fair?
In the National Football League,
yeah,
in
roughly
NBA,
a three-year window.
Because of the caps, I would say that. Major League Baseball, if nothing changes, the Dodgers could be running this.
They just keep going
for the next 10
That's
years.
why there is likely to be a lockout in the MLB after the season. Because not only does the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, come to an end after this year, the Dodgers understand there's probably going to be a change. That's why they're giving guys like Kyle Tucker $65 million guaranteed on top of these other contracts. They also don't like how they spread out Ohtani's contract. They're trying to change that.
Right.
But guys like Mark Walter, who own the Dodgers, who just bought them a year or 2 ago, is saying, well, if we're okay with paying that hundreds and hundreds of millions in luxury tax, it's not our fault you don't want to and we do.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. We're paying to win. But the owners are not on the same page with it. That's why we're likely to have some sort of lockout and change in the collective bargaining agreement after this year.
While we got you here real quick, Laz, look up Kalshi and see what the prediction is for a lockout. We'll do that.
I'm sure it's pretty high because there's likely to be a lockout here.
Will Brendan Soares be allowed to have a Kalshi patch on his uniform?
He can have a DraftKings logo on the side of his helmet.
Gosh. Let the shots get fired.
Oh, man, here we go. Hey, Wemby, and more Wemby. Is he a bad guy? Is he the most hated player now all of a sudden in the NBA? Is he overrated? Is he hyped too much? Well, we're going to get into all of that as we continue. It's our next segment coming up. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Celebrate Father's Day this year at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get Dad ready for the course with tailor-made TP5 golf balls. Buy 2 dozen TP5 or TP5X golf balls for $100. Need more ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards in any amount, plus our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Every person in a crowd deserves to feel safe. After 10 lives were lost at a concert, Pink Bows Foundation stepped forward, fighting for safer venues and crowd safety training. So when you walk into a concert or cheer on your team at a big game, Pink Bows wants you to feel protected and safe in a crowd. Our focus is to help prevent another tragedy. Visit pinkbowsfoundation.org. Pink Bows Foundation. Safer events save lives.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to AZDCS.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Castle. Love it. He's unbelievable, folks. He's unbelievable.
Well, he was at times. Thank you to NBC for the highlight. Look, we're going to kind of get into this a little bit because all of the trash talking now out of New York is Wemby sucks and he stinks and he's a villain and nobody likes him. And he didn't shake hands with the players. He walked out. He didn't run out of the building. He just walked out. He walked out of the press conference. And so, by the way, that brings us to our State 48 roofing. It's your call question of the day. My esteemed colleague, the one, the only, Dan Manucci, worked long and hard on this, about 40 seconds, and put this together. And the question is, what's your evaluation of Spurs center Victor Wembanyama after the NBA Finals? 4 choices. A, he's a superstar. 2, doesn't meet the hype. 3, needs to mature. 4, dirty player. This is dirty Wemby you're talking about here, Manuch. Come on.
You just go to @Roc and Manuch on X and then @Roc and Manuch on Instagram. Lads, if you get a chance, go ahead and pull that up. See what the latest is. Letting that marinate a little bit, looking at it last night. That was an accumulation. Listening to what? An accumulation.
There you go. Yeah. I have no idea what that word was came out of your mouth.
Yeah, I got stuck on the seat. But it's interesting watching the games, and then listen to everybody, break them down, talk about them, good, bad, or different, what the heck, we have. And Roc and I talked about this yesterday a little bit as well, too. For me, I was just it was underwhelming to see him play. I really felt that he didn't meet the hype watching him 5 games in a row. I mean, constantly watching him versus watching highlights. Maybe you watch one game, like when the Suns would play him, I'd watch him. He was hurt off and on. But for me, I just felt that, it could be a combination. I got to make a choice. Could be a combination of needs to mature, doesn't meet the hype. For me, he doesn't meet the hype. This did not meet the hype whatsoever. Now, when you got a kid like this that goes up and down the court, there's a lot of holes in his game. I think we've seen that.
Now that's a fair statement. There is.
And I think it's the overhype is, okay, let's pump the brakes, everybody. This kid's, he's played 3 years. There's a lot of things we don't see that I think that they pushed him for we're not seeing. Now, I was surprised, though, at some of the dirty play from Victor Wembanyama, again, because we haven't seen him watched him that up front personal and close in several games here and there. And the other thing, too, in reference to the maturity thing, was just his pressers, not shaking the hands, all that. But he's not a superstar yet, in my mind. So I voted doesn't meet the hype at this point.
Okay, so he's a star, but not a superstar.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
okay.
I'd say that because I think superstars got to carry the team, got to pick you up when they're down. I mean, Jalen Brunson.
He is a superstar.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
Lads, you got an update on the poll there?
Yeah, I think, in my personal opinion, he is a bona fide superstar. And I say that because you can see the raw potential. And in theory, he's still about probably 3 or 4 years away from being at the heart of his prime. So I think he's well on his way to being a superstar. And about 50% of the people agree and say he's a superstar. The other half say he needs to mature.
There you go. That's where I went. Yeah, that's where I went. He needs to mature. I will say this, because coaches will tell you, Laz, potential gets coaches fired.
Exactly right. So I think right now, I mean, it was like not down the road, but right now.
Yeah.
Because so many people say, oh, he's a superstar.
No, not yet.
Okay, well, let me watch him for 5 games. Now, the hype, I just felt that the hype exceeded the value of the player. The other thing, too, Jimmy, I really felt that Mitch Johnson didn't utilize him or use him, I felt, in a way that he could have really benefited even more so with these games. Where was he down low on rebounding?
Should have been there.
Where was he down low on the offense?
Should have been there.
I mean, shouldn't with a guy 7'4", should you go inside out versus outside in?
Manuch, I harped on the show about that. I just talked about you got to capitalize on your God-given talent.
Sure.
Your God-given talent is you are tremendously athletic and you are 7'4". Take advantage of what God gave you and make it happen down low on the block. I just felt that they missed opportunity after opportunity to capitalize on that because he is a decent free throw shooter and he most likely would have gone to the line a lot more.
Yeah, there was some, and as far as the dirty player thing, there were several, not one, not two, not three. There was probably 5 or 6 that they pointed out. Not only the head slam on Jalen Brunson, jumping up underneath Jalen Brunson, that 3-point shot on purpose. He knew what he was doing. And for them not to call that a flagrant foul was just, okay, all right, NBA officials, it is so blatantly obviously you're not going to call a flagrant on this kid that the fix is in when I see that. A total fix was in. There's a couple of times on OG Anunoby, he need him. I mean, he's underneath him. He gives him a shot to the knee.
Oh, yeah.
Then don't forget the forearm shiver. Literally to the head of, I'm trying to think, was it Catman? Because Catman wouldn't have taken that.
Nas Reed in the Minnesota series.
Yeah, Nas Reed in the Minnesota series.
Yeah, Nas Reed.
So it's interesting. You just watch this kid and you go, okay, what's up with that? What's up with this? The reason why I didn't call that flagrant, because if they would have made it to game 6, the flagrant on Jalen Brunson, he'd have had to sit out.
Correct.
Yeah, they weren't going to do that. But there was many, many times. I mean, it just, after the game when they break it down, because sometimes a lot of guys are watching the ball, you see some of the little antics, which is fine. I mean, some of the antics were like, dude, I mean, the official's right there.
Yeah.
How do you not call it?
Yeah, he's looking right at it.
Yeah. Now, there are benefits to the kid. I'm not going to totally bury him, but the kid is talented. But the kid, you know what? Number one, here's another thing. Get the ball out of his hands when he's down low. He can bring it up, but get it out of his hands because he can't dribble. He has a hard time going left and right off the glass. His shot needs to improve. I get all that. But again, when you watch him and you haven't watched him for, several months, you go, oh, this guy must just be a dude. He wasn't a dude. He's not a dude yet. Now, he may be, but somebody's going to have to get a hold of him, coach him up, or use him in the right way.
I think that they will do that in San Antonio. They're too good of an organization not to capitalize on that. So I'm sure that you will see a difference in Wemby next season. And then I believe that he will start to grow into that superstar status. I truly believe that. He's more than capable.
Sure.
He's very, very talented. I'm not taking anything away. But I think you made a solid point about Mitch Johnson, the coach of the Spurs, because you have to learn how to win. And when you and I spoke earlier this morning prior to the show, you referenced something that the Spurs, once they got into the finals, reminded you of the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. They could get the lead, but they couldn't hang on to the lead, and then they couldn't find a way to win. And that was kind of what their season was about. That's exactly what happened to the Spurs. They were really good from the jump, but when it got into a situation where they were in the middle of the fourth quarter and the game is close, that's when they lost it. And it's when the Knicks proved that veteran players make the best decisions down the stretch.
Well, and a veteran coach, too.
Yes.
Mike Brown.
Yes.
Been there, done that, right?
Yep.
And I think I call that a front-running team. They can't close. The Suns were very much a front-running team this year. They couldn't figure out a way to close. Now, at the end of the year, they started to figure it out.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think they get 45 wins. But there was maybe a good 10 games where the opposing team came back, got the lead. Suns would go back and forth, but they couldn't close. And the Spurs could not close. I thought De'Aaron Fox was there to close the game. The guy couldn't hit the water from the boat.
I agree.
That last game, I think he was 3 for 15.
Terrible.
1 for 8 from three-point land. And what are you doing coming down and not setting up, getting the offense in motion and just pulling up from the elbow or pulling up from 3? De'Aaron Fox, you're making $50 million a year. Dude, you're there to close. You're there to set this thing up, get these guys in motion. Have Wemby. How about you wait till Wemby comes down the court before you take a shot?
Let him get under the basket.
Hey, you know what? If it wasn't for Harper, that kid, I thought, stole the show.
He did steal the show for the Spurs. Dylan Harper is the real deal. I mean, he is really skilled, and he is only 20, and he takes nothing from anybody.
And I think that those guys, the last 2 or 3 minutes, they ran out of gas. They got sloppy.
Yeah.
Where you saw the Knicks, everybody breathe. And think about this, Jimmy. All 4 wins, they came back from double digits.
They did.
To win those games.
Yeah,
so
they did. Yeah.
As far as Wemby's concerned, I think he's got not a long ways to go, but a ways to go. But I think the kid needs to grow up, take a look at himself, and just be a pro. Let's be a pro.
When we come back, we're going to have a pro on the show. It is indeed Kyle Dodd who is going to be our guest. You hear him all the time, ASU basketball radio analyst, also a stud point guard when he played for ASU. It's coming up next, everybody. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs took the first of 3 from the Los Angeles Angels last night as a Pavin Smith home run helped propel Arizona to a 4-3 win at Chase Field. The Snakes will look to lock up the series tonight as Merrill Kelly gets the start for Arizona, and first pitch is set for 6:40 with pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Twin Peaks is saying thank you to its biggest fans, and today get a cheeseburger and fries for just $7.99 with the purchase of any beverage. That's a juicy, made from scratch burger, crispy fries, and ice cold served at 29-degree beers, all just for $7.99. It's Customer Appreciation Day at all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations, so come hungry, leave happy, only at Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks with Eats, Drinks, and Scenic Views.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage in your community and make a difference?
Volunteer with the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, or SHIP.
We need your help to support your friends and neighbors as they enroll in Medicare for the first time.
Review plan options or troubleshoot problems with their health care.
SHIP has many volunteer opportunities. Whether it's conducting one-on-one counseling, speaking to groups, or providing office support, SHIP can find a role that's right for you.
For more information or to volunteer, visit azship.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community Living, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Finding yourself skipping your self-care routine, experiencing things around you others don't, or withdrawing from friends and family. You might be experiencing first episode psychosis, or FEP. Stress, trauma, substance use, even genetics can trigger it. And if you're in your late teens to mid-20s, it's impacting you more than others. Know the signs of FEP. Go to learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MathForce, working to build healthier communities.
Sleep isn't just rest, it's restoration. Poor sleep can increase your risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night helps your brain clear toxins and stay sharp. Research shows that up to 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed by addressing risk factors, including lack of sleep. Tonight, give your brain the rest it deserves. Learn more at alz.org/healthy habits. This message is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association and the Arizona Department of Health Services.
You know him as the color analyst for Sun Devil basketball on Arizona Sports 98.7. But his game goes way beyond Tempe. College, the pros, the valley, the nation. If it bounces, he breaks it down. The voice in your ear on every ASU call, Kyle Dodd. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio 620.
Brunson on the drive, spins underneath, puts it up, puts it in. Jalen Brunson does it again.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun because we got the point guard on the show right now. It's always cool when Kyle Dodd comes on with us. So I always go back to Nate Tiny Archibald, who led the NBA in scoring and assists in a single season. I know that Brunson did not do that, but in your estimation, as a former point guard and scorer, could indeed he be the next guy to lead the NBA in scoring and assists?
I think so. I mean, he has that skill set. We saw it at times where he has high assist games. We see it at times where he has to go and get his own and go for 40 to get a win. And I think that's the cool part about him is he's not worried about it. He'll do whatever his team needs that night. I know he took some heat early in this series. Some people claimed that he was chasing the MVP or whatever, and I just wasn't really buying that. I don't think he's that type of player. But yeah, it's just fun to watch, man. I mean, as a guy that played the position and as a guy that was constantly called undersized growing up, and to see those guys overcome, and he did it at a much higher level than I did, but it's just fun to watch. I'm always big fans of those type of guys.
And it's very rare, Kyle, the Nova Knicks, Brunson, Bridges, and Hart. I mean, for those guys to come together and win another one in the NBA, how special is that? How rare is that in the NBA?
Yeah, it's cool. And I think there's something to that. I think, in a world where we have the transfer portal and we have, guys transferring to 4 high schools in 4 years, I think to have guys that have played basketball together for several years means something. I don't care if it's the NBA or college or whatever. And I think just the guys that, the fact that those guys played together in college, they, established the chemistry, they know each other's game. They're pulling for each other. There's no jealousies. I love the banter. They have fun with it. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson act like they hate each other, but they're actually best friends. And it's just really cool to see. And I think, like I said, it's a breath of fresh air in this world where you don't have any continuity in any sport anymore.
And a couple things, Kyle, just the improvement that he made, that being Jalen Brunson from Nova to the Knicks, and then Nova to the Mavericks, and then from the Mavericks to the Knicks. Talk about how his game has grown exponentially, how it includes, as Jimmy alluded to, scoring, but also getting everybody involved in the game.
Yeah, I think, I thought when he came into the league, he was a guy that was, looked like he was going to be a heck of a six man or, instant scorer off the bench or, a spark plug, but maybe just contributing off the bench or, but a third or fourth option. Now you're talking about the guy being the best Knick of all time. I think he's just transformed his game into a superstar. I mean, he's flat out there's no other way to put it. He's a superstar and he does so many things for that team and so many things for that franchise. And now, probably the biggest thing that's happened to that city in a long time. So, I mean, it's big time. I just think, like I said, I've always been fans of the guys that are, under the radar and underdogs. And he is a perfect example for any young athlete out there that don't listen to anything that anybody has to say. Just, try to find your lane and keep your head down and hammer away.
Kyle Dodd is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Take me to Karl Anthony Towns. The fans, and I always refer to fans as dopes because they're dopey about their team. They wanted Karl Anthony Towns midseason run out of town. They were trying to get him traded, everything. In your estimation, when you watch Towns play in the playoffs and then in the championship finals, what went right for him?
I just think the Knicks really embraced what his strength is, which is versatility. And I think when you talk about these fans, I think people just get caught up in the fact that, they want basketball to be the way it used to be, and it's just not. And I mean, I do too. I loved watching Shaquille O'Neal go down to the block and drop step and hammer on somebody and, throw people around. That was great. That was fun for me as a kid. But now that's not the game. And your big men are your hybrid guys. And I think the series changed. And I think the playoffs overall changed for the Knicks when they used Karl Anthony as, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, almost a point center. I mean, he handled the ball and facilitated from outside the key. And, that just didn't happen years ago. If you had a 7-footer, you better get your ass on the block.
Yeah,
sure.
And it's just not the way the game's played anymore. And I think, New York embracing that. And I'll tell you what, Knicks fans, they could complain and cry all they want during the season, but if they're not shaking that guy's hand for getting him a title, in the last 50 years, I mean, that he should go down as one of the better Knicks of all time as well.
Kyle, I got to imagine on the other side, San Antonio, you are a realist, traditionalist, fundamental basketball, understanding the game, know where you're at. So game 4, De'Aaron Fox gets a rebound. He goes in for the layup versus dribbling it out and getting fouled. You come back and he gets blocked by OG. Then you get the inbounds pass from OG out to Jalen Brunson. He beelines to the rim. Nobody accounts for him and blocks out. Nobody was blocking out down low. I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? What happened to fundamental, basic basketball to prevent or understand where you're at all times? So I can imagine when Kyle Dodd had to come off the couch when we saw these fundamental breakdowns by the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough to watch. And I mentioned how much the game has changed, and a lot of it has changed at the youth level. I mean, it's just a different dynamic. There's not a lot of stress on fundamentals anymore. It's go out and play 185 games, in a season, in a club season. High school ball doesn't even matter. Some of these guys, I mean, it does to me, but sure. It's like some of these guys take it for granted. And, I just think with the way we grew up, it's like if I was going to be on the floor, I had to do every little thing right. I was 140 pounds soaking wet when I got to ASU. If I was going to play, I better screen.
Sure.
I better block out every time. I better guard my man. I better know my assignment. And it's just not the case anymore. Some of these guys, they just play so many games and they're so gifted athletically, they get away with it. And then stuff like that slides through the cracks. And it's a shame because it's not necessarily even De'Aaron Fox's fault. He's just never been held accountable.
Yes.
And so I think that's just a big thing with the way, youth sports and high school sports has changed.
All right. Now that we're talking about De'Aaron Fox, there's a lot of talk about Giannis and being traded, and the Spurs have come up in that. De'Aaron Fox would be part of that package. If you were the Spurs, is that a deal that you would make for Giannis, or do you try to run it back with all the youth, knowing that they're going to even be better than what they were this year?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I think anytime you get a chance to get a guy like Giannis, you definitely explore it. And I think especially with the fact that he's just kind of been under the radar the last couple of years, he's been banged up a little bit. Milwaukee hasn't done much. And I think a new, fresh start for him might re-energize him. I mean, he's the Greek freak. He is a freak. I mean, he's, if you had a chance to acquire him, I think you always take a look at it. I don't care what team it is, if it's the Suns or the Jazz or whoever. But that being said, it would be hard for me to break up, a nucleus that just, I think this is a team that could be good for a long time. And I know in the win now and no patience world, it's like, man, we were so close. We need to tinker. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just need to roll it back. Sometimes those guys just need to learn how to win. I mean, honestly, what they lead 177 minutes of the series compared to New York's 50 minutes. So, I mean, really, they weren't. I know the series wins was 4-1, but that series was a lot closer than the numbers.
Sure. Yeah, they could have very easily won 3 games. I mean, again, sometimes I look at the coaching. I want to get your overall thoughts on watching Wembanyama during this series. Roc and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Jimmy and I talked about it a little bit. I guess I was just underwhelmed. I just, for my mind, it didn't, watching him game in and game out on a consistent basis, Kyle, it's like he didn't meet the hype, or he's overhyped, or maybe I'm just disappointed because he's, in my mind, not as good as I thought he was. I just want to get your thoughts on Wemby during the playoffs or during the final.
Yeah, Jimmy, fans aren't the only ones that are dope. Sometimes, radio guys could be dope. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I kind of agree with you. I think Wemby is, I think what happened is people crowned Wemby a little too early.
Yes.
And I think he's young. He's ultra talented. He's going to be, probably the face of the league. But, this was a learning experience. And I think, there was games when I'm like, what are you doing? He's just floating, floating around. And he's so gifted. He's going to have an impact on the game. But, I think, I just think he's got a little ways to go. And that's okay. He's super young and stuff. But there was times when I'm like, I know this is crazy to say, but like the Spurs almost looked better a little, in times when he was not on the floor at times. And obviously that's not the case over the course of the game, but there was just times where I thought he needed to force his will a little bit and try to just put his fingerprints a little more on the game. And that'll come with age. And I loved how much it bothered him. You could tell, it bothered him a lot that they lost. And I love that. I think that means he's going to do anything he can, not have that feeling again.
Kyle Dodd is our guest. We're talking basketball. Okay, so if you're the head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers in Kenny Atkinson, and you're the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, Mitch Johnson, the analytics all say that you won the series. Every analytic equation says that you are the champion. So if that's the case, and we know it didn't happen, we saw what happened. Why are analytics so relied upon, and why don't coaches again start to go back to the eye test?
Yeah, I just think there's a way to do both. And I think I may even mentioned it on this show before. I think my dad honestly he's 82 years old. I think he has a great feel for this. He's a huge Dodger fan. Sorry guys, he grew up in LA, but
that's fine.
His big thing was, the Dodgers relied so many years on the analytics and then they continue to do that through the playoffs. And his whole thing was, over the course of 162 games, you can manage by the numbers and, probably things are going to happen the way that you say they are. But when you're in the playoffs and you're a coach, you can't coach with the math book. You have to coach with your eyes.
Yep.
And if you see a matchup that, I'm old school, man. If I run in a play and they haven't stopped it twice in a row, what are you running the third time?
Sure.
And what are you running the fourth time? And that's just not the case anymore. It's like, oh man, people, they just overthink it. It's like, run stuff till they stop it. You find a matchup that you can exploit the heck out of it until they change. And that's just not the case anymore. It's just everything's managed by numbers. And I think there's a way you can utilize the numbers, but just also have a feel for the game as well.
I'm a little surprised. We got that brand new open for you, real nice open, giving you a lot of love, and here you are insulting the co-host like that, for crying out loud. I mean, that can be pulled the next time we have. And just remember, I got cousins that are out at work right now, so they know where you live, tough guy. All right, so just be careful what you wish for. All right.
I got to take a jab at you once every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I know that.
The open was awesome. By the way, I'm actually not at home. I'm in Irvine, California for my son's little baseball deal. I'm off this week, so you can't find me in Arizona. But I'm sure you got family over here that can rough me up too. So.
Are you
got family everywhere?
Are you like walking around the field or something? You sound like you're out of breath or something like that.
I am. I'm trying to find like a spot that you can't hear cheering and stuff. I'm trying to.
Well, you sound like you're out of breath. Are you power walking or are you just strolling? What are you doing?
No, I'm fat. That's what it is.
I can say this. You're the freaking best, man. We love having you on.
Hey, thank you so much for indulging us the entire basketball season, NBA season. And when it comes draft time, just have everything in order. We'll get your thoughts on your draft. We'll get that all boiled down as well, too. So, hey, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I was so glad that all that all that teaching and schooling that one Sean Crossman taught you is finally paying off.
Yeah. If I get my numbers and colors down, I'm going to be a real threat in society.
Hey, look at man, I was always really good at paint by number, so I'm right with you. See you, pal.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You got it. Kyle Dodd, everybody, longtime ASU analyst for the basketball team. He's presented today by Vans Golf Shops. Hey, look, they've been serving golfers since 1963. Unprecedented service, custom club fitting, and it is the cornerstone of their business throughout the entire Southwest. So if you need servicing for your golfing needs, make it simple. Just go online, vansgolfshops.com. Again, that's vansgolfshops.com. When we come back, little random fact of the day and some football at 50. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
You push hard. You train hard. Shouldn't your soda work just as hard? Meet Who Knew, the superfood nutrition soda packed with whole vitamins, electrolytes, and antioxidants. Only 5 grams of natural sugar. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Voted the #1 soda for athletes. Whole food nutrition. Great taste. That's Who Knew. Go to HUNUsoda.com and use code ESPN for 10% off your first order. Who Knew Soda. Soda that's actually good for you. HUNUsoda.com. Code ESPN.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
The U.S. is on the world stage, and there's a lot to get to. This is your World Cup soccer update, powered by Twin Peaks. 5 locations across the valley showing you every match, and Michelob Ultra pouring all summer long. Let's get you caught up.
All right, so we are on a busy day of World Cup action today, guys. The superstars will be on the pitch. We have the former runner-up in France. They played today at noon against Senegal, and Senegal is a very good club a very good team, I should say, internationally, because they have a lot of pace. They play very, very fast. So that wasn't an ideal matchup for France to kick off the World Cup, but they took easy care of them behind one of the best players in the world, Kylian Mbappe. He scored 2 absolute screamers of goals. They were both absolutely incredible, beautiful goals. So they held off Senegal. They won 3-1, but we didn't have any goals until the 70th minute of that one.
0-0 at halftime.
So anyone who had the under was jumping for joy until there was 4 goals in the last 20 minutes.
Worked that in,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
he did. Yeah,
I knew that'd work in.
Because people are betting the World Cup.
Yo, they are.
So,
is France considered one of the favorites this year?
yes, I would say they are the favorite in my opinion. They have superstars all over the pitch, and then Kylian Mbappe is probably the best player in the world. And he's still my age, so he's got a long career ahead.
Oh, well, that's why he's the best player in the world for you, because he's your age.
Yeah, he's
I'll
incredible.
go with the old man who gets a chance to play tonight for Argentina. The game is the night game in Kansas City, and you get a chance to see Messi on the pitch.
That's right.
I cannot wait for that.
And they are the former World Cup
They
champions.
are. Yep.
That's who took down France in 2022 in that last World Cup.
Yep.
So you got Lionel Messi in Argentina. We'll see if they can run back their last World Cup championship. They hadn't won one in many years, so we'll see if they can go back-to-back. No one has done that in a long time. So, yeah, you'll see arguably the other best player in the world in Lionel Messi, who's still got plenty left in the gas tank against Algeria. And Algeria is a good team, too.
Yeah.
They're ranked only in the mid-20s of all the World Cup teams. So they'll give them a good run for their money there. And then at 3 o'clock, sandwiched in between those, you got Iraq versus Norway. And Norway is actually a pretty good club as well because they have Man City's Erling Haaland. And Haaland is a huge dude. He's a tank, and he's probably one of the best goal scorers in all of soccer or football, if you want to call it that.
Football.
So today is a day full of the stars. You get Argentina, you get France, and many, many bona fide superstars coming with that. So right now, Iraq and Norway is set to get underway in just about 10 or 15 minutes here. I'm watching right now. They're all making their way out to the pitch and all of that. So I'll keep you updated with scores from that game, but I think Norway will probably have their way with Iraq, I'm guessing. And then tonight, Lionel Messi and Argentina.
And just kind of recap for what happened yesterday, if you didn't see this, Spain, España, and Cape Verde, not Cape Verde, they went to a draw, 0-0.
Right.
All nil. Belgium beats Egypt they tie Egypt 1-1. Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, they tie at 1-1. And then Iran and New Zealand, they tie at 2-2. So a lot of draws.
4 games?
4 games.
Draws.
4 games, 4 draws.
Boring.
So some excellent competition. And I think that's one of the things that you talk about, okay? If you're not a big soccer fan, you're kind of a novice, you want to watch this, you're watching these draws, you're not going to see a lot of scoring. You're just not.
No.
You're just not. So a lot of fans, because we're so hyper scoring in football and basketball, baseball,
even in hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah.
You're looking at the NHL Stanley Cup. You're not going to see that. So I think the biggest thing I've always enjoyed, because my daughter played it, and Nethery played it at a high level. She played at Hastings College, and I helped assist with her when she was in junior grade school and junior high, learning the game from a young lady that played at Phoenix College. She was the coach. Oh my gosh, I learned so much about being in position, being out of position, defense, offense, strikers, the wing, the blah, 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 all this and that. So when I watch it, I know enough to be dangerous. And you got to really appreciate, I think, guys, the athleticism that we're seeing from these players. And especially when they talk about the USA team, they say this is probably in the 25, since 1994. This is a team that's probably one of the most athletic, experienced teams that they've had, that we can only hope that they can get it, not only get to the group of 16, get out of the group of 16 and move forward and have a chance.
Hey, ask your daughter to come on the show.
I will.
Talk some soccer with us.
Yeah. And here's why. I want to ask her, since she played it at such a high level, about the offside rule, because I detest it. Because the ball goes into the box, and instead of the defenders defending, they all run forward so that the person in the box all of a sudden is offside.
Yes, exactly.
That's the problem with FIFA soccer. The game is essentially designed to not score. It's a not score design, where in the United States people say, well, soccer, look how exciting. No. People in the United States, they want to see the ball in the net. We want to see, like the USA, put 4 goals up on the board.
Speaking of
I
the
would
USA,
love to ask her that.
Speaking of the USA, there was a soundbite I wanted to play for you guys earlier, and we didn't get to it. Pat McAfee and his whole gang of guys were at the game, and he has quite the opinion on U.S. In fact, he thinks they might even win the World Series. So listen to this sound clip. I think you guys will get a good kick out of it.
Everybody was saying they must. No, I think hey.
I might do it.
Look out.
Look out. It's coming home.
I think we have the confidence finally. And I said that in Chicago whenever we played against Germany, and Anthony Robinson attempted that volley that just went through the back of the net. It was nasty strike. Just an absolutely nasty goal. American teams of the past would have settled that, passed it back around, because we always thought the other team had more skill than us. We're just going to try to not let up any goals. Let's not make any big mistakes. And then we'll score on our one or two opportunities that we get. All our guys think that they're better than the other team. All our guys have confidence. All our guys have moxie. All our guys have skill. And I think we're a problem. After watching all those games, they were the most impressive team by far, including the greats.
He went on to tweet that USA will win the World Cup.
It's one game. One game. Pump the brakes, dude.
It's interesting when you watch on Fox Sports and you see these panelists of guys.
Yeah.
You're just learning, talking about Spain, talking about France, talking about Germany, on and on and on. They debunk all that Pat McAfee has said because of all the outstanding players. And they said, look, at least, yeah, they've got good athletes.
Yeah.
They've got experience, but here's where the blemishes are on the USA team. Now, hopefully they can overcome them, have that kind of exuberance and confidence that Pat McAfee is exuding. You just got to hope that they said these other guys are so much more experienced at this level of soccer.
Hey, when we come back, the U.S. Open Golf Championship is going to begin in just 2 days, on Thursday at Shinnecock on Long Island. That means Tom Lehman, golf champion, is going to be our guest coming up in just a couple of minutes. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit StayCool-Products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the Golf Channel. I'm doing my golf impersonation of how they have to speak when somebody's going to roll in a putt. Tom Lehman on the green, 15 feet away, here at Shinnecock Hills, number 18. He hits the putt. It's rolling. It's rolling. It's still rolling. It's still rolling. It's rolling off the green. It's like a skating rink. We welcome in the one, the only Tom Lehman. Tommy, welcome, pal. Am I right about the greens? I mean, I've watched these guys during practice sessions. Man, you cannot stop the ball.
It's a really rugged golf course, and when they get the speeds up where they want to have them in the U.S. Open, and I'm not saying that they should, but I'm just saying when they do, it's really a handful for sure. It's tee to green, and then once you get to the greens, then the fun is just starting.
I thought that for a second time that Jimmy was going back to a victory for you, that he slam dunks at home from 15 feet, but.
I thought he was going to the Bill Murray, like, oh, it's in the hole. It's in the hole.
If it wasn't Shinnecock Hills, I probably would have done that.
Okay, well, yeah, you know what? I think when they set the course up properly, and I always said ever since 1995 when Corey Pavin won there, maybe it was 94 possibly. That it was the greatest golf course that ever played because they had it just exactly right. The greens were fast, but they weren't too fast. It was breezy, so therefore, they took that into account. They had the course just right. And when they do that, it is an absolute phenomenal, perfect test of golf. When they get the greens too fast, it becomes a little bit of a jokester at times in some places. And I hope they do not do that.
Tom, I took the virtual tour of Shinnecock the other night. So they kind of, you did the drone flies the course or that particular hole. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this course, you talk about a links course in Scruffalopolis and point A to point B type golf, kind of peak dye, links, all the above. And as Jimmy alluded to, the ice carving of greens, I don't know, +5 wins this thing. But I mean, just talk about that in particular. This somewhat A to B or target golf at a lot of these holes that you're going to have to perform.
Yeah, there's actually some room out there off the tee. They because it's a breezy place and it has topography. There's some hills and some uphills, downhill, side hills. So the ball does roll, but it's a very fair test tee to green. You have to hit the ball extremely well. You have to hit it reasonably straight. But because it's windy, you need to hit the center of the club face and control your distance and control your trajectory. It's really a big deal there. You've got to hit it solid. And you have to leave it in the right places on the greens. And like I say, when the greens get really fast, when they kind of get baked out fast where the ball just won't stop, it really limits their pin positions. And you can kind of look stupid really fast when it gets that way. So I like I say, I hope they don't. Because it's a perfect course at about 11 to 12 on the snip meter. It's like it's all you want. It's all you need. And hopefully they kind of have learned their lessons from the past.
I mean, and Tom, just looking at it, I haven't looked at it long. Look at it. It reminds me a little bit of what's the course up in the Northwest where they had the open?
Chambers Bay.
Yeah, Chambers Bay. Is there a hint of that in this?
You know what? Okay. So what was the Johnny Miller line where you're comparing Roseanne Barr to Sharon Stone? That you just did that. You just insulted Shinnecock to the nth degree.
Well, just don't share that with anybody.
God, we love having Tom Lehman on the show.
You know what? But she's got a great personality.
You know what? thing is that at Shinnecock, you do have to. If you hit it where you're aiming, the ball stays there. Right?
Sure.
It's typically, Chambers Bay was like you could hit it 50 yards offline and catch a bounce and catch a roll, and before you know it, you're hitting it the foot from the hole. That was goofy golf. There's nothing goofy about Shinnecock. It's smash mouth. It's like the old black and blue division,
Sure.
NFC Central. It's like you just line up and see who has the best offensive line or defensive line, and the strongest man wins.
Tom, what do you think about the live golfers who are going to be there, especially with all the uncertainty surrounding live golf now?
Yeah, well, I think it's a the USGA event. It's a major. It's not a PGA Tour owned event. It's co-sanctioned, but not owned by the tour. So they have the right to invite who they want to. Just like Augusta does, just like the Open Championship, the PGA Championship. So there will be guys there, and that's fine if they've earned their way there, based upon their good play. I think they have the right to have them there. I think the PGA Tour is a little different animal, and that I have different opinions on it when it comes to PGA Tour golf. But for certain, the USGA has every right to invite whoever they want to play in their championship.
And off of that, Tom, if Liv does fold, which is amazing to me, does eventually fold, because I don't think these guys play for, another 4, 5, 6 weeks. What happens then? What's kind of the mechanics if they fold for those that have their PGA card and coming back to the PGA?
Yeah, I think that the tour does have some kind of a program, in place for people to, I think for the most part, you have to sit out a year. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a 1 year.
Okay. Moratorium.
1 year, but I think, guys, for example, if I'm not mistaken, I think Pat Perez is doing TV on the live, and so he's not playing this year, and he's serving his 1 year, which I think is absurd. But I think there is something like that, and then they did have that one-time thing where you could pay and $5 million get paid to charity or some number like that in order to come back right now. And so I don't understand all the ins and the outs of it, but I think it's certainly been my opinion that you can't keep guys from coming back. It's a free world. You can make a decision to go and you can make a decision to come back. But when you come back, you shouldn't come back with all the rights and opportunities that you left with.
See, you're on the same page as Manuch and I, but my follow-up question to that is, are you surprised that Liv failed with the money that the Saudis had?
I guess I'm not. And I think the reason is that I think if this is just my one man's opinion and for whatever it's worth, I think people have understood and realized that there's way more to professional golf, meaningful professional golf, than just money. And it has to do with culture. It has to do with legacy and tradition and history and all those things that you can't buy, all those intangibles that you earn over the decades and actually centuries now of competitive golf. The PGA Tour, the European Tour, they own that. The USGA, they own that. That's the biggest part of the game. Almost is who's held this trophy before and who's walked these fairways before, and what's the history and the legacy that this championship holds, and being a part of that, it means a lot. And I think the guys who have left understood that they've lost all of that, and it's not nearly as much fun.
Tom, as we look back and you talk about competition and holding the U.S. Open trophy, unfortunately you lost by one stroke to Steve Jones, our good buddy. We'll have him on tomorrow at Oakland Country Club back in 1996. Talk about that final round. You're up. You and Davis Love III, just one shot back, and how the nerves and knowing what you just said, how vitally important it is for American to win that U.S. Open coming down that stretch.
Yeah, it's the one that I wanted to win more than anything. And that particular day, I have to say that I think it's one of the best rounds I've ever played under pressure, from start to finish. And this had nothing to show for it. Like I think I shot 71 that day. I forget the number exactly, but it was one too many. And it just hit so many superb golf shots that ended up, in spots that like, how did this ball possibly get here? Or, a putt that lipped out, or hitting the downslope over a bunker and kicking into a bad spot in the back bunker. I mean, just you almost kind of like, okay, this wasn't meant to be. It was Steve Jones' tournament. It was meant to be for him. He played well. I played well. Davis played well, and he ended up. He was the one who could hit the fairway on 18, and which was nearly impossible to do, and make a par, and he won.
And so explain that coming down the last couple of fairways. You won the British Open. You played in the Masters many times. You played in the PGA many times. Sawgrass, et cetera, et cetera. Is it just that for the Americans to win their own tournament, that much more pressure versus those other majors, Tom?
I don't know. I don't think there's more pressure. I didn't feel any more pressure there than anywhere else, because it's all kind of the same. It's all, you really want it badly. It's something that but if you're not thinking about that in the middle of it all. Like when you're coming down the last few holes, you're not thinking like, holy crap, I'm going to win maybe the U.S. Open, the one I want to win more than anything.
Sure.
Those are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are simply like, okay, the 16th hole, if I miss the fairway right in that rough, I've got to lay it up shore of the pond. So, keep that 3-wood down the left side, and it's just shot by shot by shot, and then you add them up at the end. And I think when you do get to, I remember getting to the last hole, and I've said to Jones, like, this is what it's all about right here. I mean, what could be better than this is, tied on the last hole of the U.S. Open, the 72nd hole, and I was up first, and hit my tee shot, and I mean, I have to say, after all thinking through all these years, when that ball was in the air, I absolutely loved it. Like, oh, that's perfect. And it ended up, up against the lip of the bunker, and not perfect. And so you kind of almost have to say, well, you know what, it's execution wise, it's the best I could do. I couldn't do it any better under pressure if I tried in a million years. And Jonesy's tee shot, he hit it way further to the right. He hit a 3-wood, and his ball landed like maybe in the first cut of the right rough and ended up in the fairway. And so maybe I picked the wrong line. Obviously I must have, because his ball was in the fairway and I wasn't.
It's interesting because I think about that, some of those incomplete passes I threw over the years. If I just let him here or let him there. Isn't it amazing how us athletes have played? You go, there's just that one throw or shot or swing or whatever it is that you never forget.
Yeah. Well, and and sometimes they're bad. Sometimes it's like because there's just a blunder.
Yeah.
Other times it's because you go, oh, you know what, that's the best I could do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any better. And so you have both. You have both of those, and I think you to be fair to yourself, you have to always remember all of the good as well as the ones that aren't so good. And you if you only thought about the negative, like you can't step up and make a game plan and swing a golf club and hit a shot and just be completely happy with it, and then end up saying at the end of the day it was a bad shot, because it wasn't. Like, okay, well, it didn't turn out well, and maybe the putt didn't go in, but when that you executed, I think that's what you always hear from athletes about, under pressure, just if I can just execute, if I can execute the best that I possibly can, and it just seems that, that Nicholas executed the best he could, a lot more than anybody else did. He won 19 of them or 18 of them or whatever it was. So, there's that element of true greatness that, is a genius, and most everybody else is a mere mortal.
1 minute left here. You got to pick. Is it Scotty Scheffler for you, or is it somebody else in the field?
You guys know me well. Know me well. You know what? It's the ball striker's paradise there. It's the guy who can flight it, control his trajectory, control his distance. Scotty does that extremely well. But, a guy like Jon Rahm, he played well in the Masters, and he's known to be a great ball striker. And this is a really, really good course for him. Xander Schauffele, I always kind of go to Xander when the conditions may be tough. It's windy at Shinnecock, and he made a comment a number of years ago at Carnoustie saying that in bad conditions, he's always the one who is able to get the ball around, and that's proven to be true. I really like his chances as well.
We like our chances when you're on the show, because you always enlighten us when it comes to golf.
And please tell the boys I said hi. Would you, Tom?
Yeah.
You know what? Your youngest quarterback turned cornerback, just graduated from college, so I'll tell him you said hello.
Oh my God! Will you tell
God,
these
is you
kids to
old,
stop
man?
aging?
God,
for
are you
crying out
old,
loud?
Manuch?
I stopped having them at 45, Tom. I don't know about you. I just stopped it.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll tell them that the Cinderella boy said to say hello.
Oh, that's good. Tell Sean and Thomas I love them both, and keep on keeping on, as I always say.
There you go. Thanks,
Will
Tom.
do. Hey, guys, thanks for having me on again. I love it.
Okay, thank you. Tom Lehman, everybody. Oh, that was great stuff. Great information as well. And he was presented by Lerner and Rowe. Injury attorneys, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. That's 602-977-1900. When we come back, what do the Phoenix Suns have to do to at least try to get in the hemisphere of the Spurs and the Thunder? We're going to talk about that when we come back. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy. Spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
Hey, Arizona State football fans, London is calling. The Sun Devils are headed across the pond to face Kansas in the inaugural Union Jack Classic, September 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's the first college football game ever played there, and you should be part of it. For tickets, hospitality, and travel packages, visit UnionJackClassic.com or contact the Sun Devil ticket office. Join Coach Dillingham, Sparky, and the Sun Devils in London. Forks up.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice during an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. On 977-1900.
Nobody handed parents a manual for raising kids with smartphones. But we're learning something important. Heavy social media use can affect kids' sleep, confidence, and mental health. And simply banning it isn't realistic. What parents can do is learn how to guide kids towards a healthier balance. The Cars for Kids parenting blog offers practical advice for parents to help their children succeed in a digital world. Visit carsforkids.org/parenting because smart kids need informed parents.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
5 seconds remaining. Box to Wemby. Wemby tries a 3, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knicks fans, this is not a dream. Your long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Thank you to NBC for the highlight. The Knicks win the NBA title. The celebrations in New York City still going on and probably will for the rest of the month.
ABC, Jimmy B. ABC.
ABC, thank you for that. Yes. And so there's too many XYZs, ABCs, all of those. I don't pay attention to CBS.
You're just upset because you had DirecTV and and Scripps couldn't get it their act
However,
together.
Manuch, a friend of mine, I probably shouldn't say this on the air.
Be careful.
I will. A friend of mine sent me their code so that I can receive it.
Oh, what's your friend's name?
A different
Where do they live?
way.
What's their address?
No, that's it. So if Fooey's on the show again, I can still yell at him for that.
Oh, trust
I'm not
me.
going to go buy some stinking little antenna.
Rock gave him a little bit of a peace of mind yesterday.
Did he
too.
really? Good.
Owning Orangedale Bar up there in North Scottsdale. Got a little love. And, you did get the Spanish broadcast.
I did. I did
found
get the
out.
Fortes.
But, Rock and a lot of bar owners had to turn the sound down. And I wasn't there to interpret. So,
Right. Yeah. You should have just gone there, and they just should have given you a microphone.
And that's part of it is the sound. Hearing Mike Breen right there talk about. The other thing too is realize Mike Breen is the Knicks announcer.
He is,
and he had to have had that written out in his brain or just written out, knowing if they win. That was very eloquently said. So that just didn't come off the cuff from Mike Breen.
No, I'm sure it was well thought out.
Very well thought out.
Yeah.
But, think about that. It's the sound. It's a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
You're at a bar. You're at home. And, oh man! And you get the commentary on top of everything. And this is what they're doing, what they're not doing, and you have to turn the sound down because it's in Spanish. Nobody understands the Spanish, and then you just it's part of that vibe. It's part of that feel. But Fooey's. Everybody in town's been coming up to him. He says, I have no part of that.
He doesn't really, but everybody hates you.
Scripps owns the station. Right in.
Everybody hates you, Fooey.
But you know what? This Knicks team really came together because I think of
they did in the second half of the season.
I think of last year when they missed out in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
They got beat out. They had a few shortcomings. And they went back to what Jalen Brunson said. He said, look, we're close. We had every opportunity to win and to have that opportunity to beat the Indiana Pacers. We did. Indiana had it. They had our number. They had the size. So there's some things that they did, that being the Knicks, to go ahead and secure some more people. They already had all the dudes. They had all the studs.
Yes.
They had everybody there. And I think that the only guy I think that they added, because Bridges was there, and I'm just trying to think, the only other guy that they added last year, if I'm not mistaken, if I get to the Knicks, is the last piece to the puzzle. I want to say, as I'm looking here, was it Hart? Was that last piece?
No, Josh Hart was there.
Okay, he was there. It might have been Anunoby. Might have been the last piece. Whatever. I mean, they talked about the last
They got
piece.
him from Toronto.
Right. So that was key. So the thing they did, though, is the new president, the guy was a former agent. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Former agent, came over to be the president of the Knicks. And he basically told James Dolan, just stay out of the way. Let me do my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of nerve to tell this billionaire, stay out of the way. Let me build it the way I want to build it. Let me do my thing, so to speak. And then to go get the kind of guys that have the, Landry Shamit's there and the Jordan Clarkson kid and some of the other stars, Jose Alvarado.
Right.
I mean, everybody.
That was a great pickup, by the way.
I mean, just he knows basketball, but what he did is Dolan allowed him to build that team.
Yeah.
So you look at that team and you bring it back here to the Phoenix Suns and you go, okay, if the Suns can compete in the West, which you alluded to, OKC, San Antonio seem to be maybe just two of the roadblocks out of many. What can the Suns do if they can keep their good core nucleus to add to get to where it took a couple, 2-3 years for the Knicks, for OKC, for Indiana, who was injured last year. They made it last year. They got hurt.
They lost Tyrese Halliburton.
But there's pieces that are added that seem to spur a team on to the finals potential.
All right. My question to you, old sage, who has been a Suns fan since their inception in 1968.
58 years.
That's amazing. God, you're old.
58 years.
Damn.
I was 10 at the time.
So-
over there at St. Daniel's.
So
sixth grade.
my question then
Sister
is,
Osborne.
they have nothing that they can really do in the draft. They are
That's
totally
the problem.
They are totally handcuffed. So you have Mark Williams is free. You have a couple other players off the bench that can walk as well. Do you let them walk, or do you bring back one or two? And if so, which one would you target?
Yeah, I'm not going to let Mark Williams go.
Okay.
I think I saw enough in him last year, aside from the injuries. And again,
but that's the issue.
Yeah, that is the issue. But I think he played enough. Matter of fact, we gave him a standing O. I think there was a parade for him last year when he went back-to-back games.
Yeah, there was
downtown. But I look at this chart, and I think that, look, Booker's coming back, Green's going to come back, Brooks is coming back. I think you bring Mark Williams back because you need at least a solid big man.
You got to have that.
And you might need one more solid big man.
You do need that.
And you're going to bring Goodwin back. So you're going to bring the starting five back. I really believe they're going to do that. Now, how you add from that standpoint, you're going to bring Gillespie back. Grace Now's going to come back. Is Iguodala, and is he proceeding like you want him to?
Ryan Dunn.
And Ryan Dunn, are they making the progress that you want to see in order to take this team to the next step? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there somebody out there? Is there a couple other players out there that can play as well or better, have more experience, Iguodala or Dunn? And then they could be very viable as far as trading. Now, it'll be their third year. So they're still under their rookie deal. But with that youth, you go get more experience, but can you handle the contract of that experience that comes in lieu for one of them or for both of them?
When we come back, we're going to shift gears and go to football. The quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, is going to enter the NFL supplemental draft. On Kalshi, the number one team that would be interested in Sorsby, the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona sports columnist Bob McManaman is going to be our guest. That's going to be our first question. So, Bobby, get ready. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs took the first of three from the Los Angeles Angels last night as a Pavin Smith home run helped propel Arizona to a 4-3 win at Chase Field. The Snakes will look to lock up the series tonight as Merrill Kelly gets the start for Arizona with first pitch set for 6:40 and pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Twin Peaks is saying thank you to its biggest fans. Today, get a cheeseburger and fries for just $7.99 with the purchase of any beverage. That's a juicy, made-from-scratch burger, crispy fries, and ice-cold beer served at 29 degrees, all for just $7.99. It's Customer Appreciation Day at all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations, so come hungry and leave happy only at Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks with eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Right Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Your brain is powerful. It helps you learn, create, and become who you're meant to be. But too much screen time or drugs can make it harder to focus, stay motivated, or even feel like yourself. And over time, your brain needs more of that stimulation just to feel normal. What you do now matters. You've got one brain, take care of it. Learn more at loveyourbrainaz.com. Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Let's go inside the Cards locker room and down to the field with Bob McManaman. Bob's been covering Arizona sports for the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com since 1981. Now, Arizona Republic columnist Bobby Mack on ESPN 620.
So you know me, Manuch, and how analytical I am.
Oh, so quite frankly, you are.
Yeah. So
Spot on.
I am. And so I'm looking at the analytics. So I'm on Kalshi.
How are you?
And Kalshi is predicting where Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback, will most likely end up. The number one team, the Arizona Cardinals. That is why we always invite Arizona Republic columnist Bob McManaman in on the show. You can find him on X at AZ Bobby Mack. Robert, welcome. Would you make a play for this guy or what?
No, I would not.
And why?
No, I would not. I think it's too late in the game. I don't like the circumstances. If everybody's going to bitch about him not being able to play at Texas Tech, why should he be allowed to skirt everything, avoid everything, come to the NFL and make a lot more millions that he might, unfortunately, gamble away? I hope the kid's better, but I don't know what an upgrade he represents over Carson Beck, Gardner Minshew, and even Jacoby Brissett.
So the betting,
I don't really like the idea at all. I hate it.
Yeah, the thing.
Just me, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that, and that's very fair, Bob. I think that he's got to apply by June 22nd. He's already got a pro day lined up July 10th. I'm sure there'll be maybe one team, 5 teams, whatever there are. And in reference to the supplemental draft, I don't know exactly what the day is, but
there isn't one yet.
Yeah, it could be he go first round, second, third, fourth, or fifth. But I think that's got to be front and center, is to vet him, even though he's had the 35-day rehab, whatever you call it, to make sure this doesn't rear its ugly head as a professional football player.
Yeah, and who knows if he's even going to be allowed to be put into the supplemental draft. He has to apply and be accepted, and I know he's apparently or reportedly applied, but NFL hasn't said anything yet, and until they do, at which time they'll probably announce a date for when the supplemental might happen. The whole thing stinks to happen to me. I don't like it. Not a fan of it. I don't want to be involved in it in any way, shape, or form. I don't even want to read about it anymore. Now, I know that's maybe closed-minded. I'm just tired of stuff like this.
Are you a fan of the supplemental draft? Do you even like that? I mean, Rob Moore did come through the supplemental draft.
Yeah, there's been some good finds, and including Jalen Thompson.
Yeah.
For a long, long time. And unfortunately couldn't afford him, so they let him go as a free agent to Dallas. He's going to do wonders there, I think. So, yeah, the supplemental draft, there's a reason for it. Jalen's issue was a grade not transferring over from a summer school thing. I don't remember everything. But I remember talking to his head coach at the time, great former Washington State colorful coach who just joked and laughed about it. It was kind of funny, but great player. I don't think Sorsby's going to be a great player. I don't even know if he's going to land or get drafted. I think his best approach is going to be a free agent walk-on type of deal in camp when someone gets crazy in their quarterback situation and has to grasp at straws, and that's what they'd be doing, in my opinion. Did you guys ever hear of this guy really before?
Oh yeah,
gambling stuff came out.
I thought Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah,
I thought the gambling I had no idea, but I've watched this kid for the last 4 or 5 years. I think he's an outstanding quarterback. He throws it well and runs well. Had a hell of a year at Cincinnati. He's trending as like one of the top, if this can come up, one of the top 2 or 3 picks for this year's draft. If this didn't come up,
well, that got flushed down pretty quick.
Yeah, it did. It's interesting to bring this up, Bob. But you think of other sports, somebody popped for gambling, and like kids and like basketball players in college.
Yeah,
I can't think of anybody that transitioned to the NBA from that actually got popped, was suspended or kicked out of college basketball.
I can give you John Hot Rod Williams.
How about Connie Hawkins?
Went to Connie Hawkins as well.
Yeah.
But John Hot Rod Williams got Tulane shut down, and then he went into the NBA, and he had a relatively solid NBA career.
But I think to your point, Bob, it's few and far between. Can you trust the young man not to have a relapse? And next thing you know, he's not so much on your team, but betting on other teams.
Right. And, if I'm any team, I'm going to strongly weigh that in. Now, do I really want to tangle with this potential web of whatever? And I'm not saying second chances are great.
Sure.
This is, God, I hate to sound stupid here, but it's different to me for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of things that people do and get second chances for. Maybe they should, and in some cases, maybe they shouldn't. I think this is one of those shouldn't, because the kid needs to learn, and I don't know how serious this rehab thing is or not. You'd hope he's taking it very serious and has learned and continues to learn, and I don't think playing football right away is a way to help him learn. I think it's enabling in many ways, potentially.
This is why we got Bobby on the show. Yep, this is why he's here. Okay, take me then, because everybody has scattered to here and there, and this is the coach's worst time of the year because they have no control over anything.
Right.
and we know bad things happen sometimes. So
Sometimes
they do, yes. If that's the case, do we get anything done with Jacoby Brissett, or are we just going to sit and wait until training camp officially opens?
And let me add to that, Bob, real quick. If they do get something done with Jacoby Brissett, is he automatically the starter?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'll answer both by saying this. It's not nearly on the pace of what's going on in Tampa with Baker Mayfield. He's a different quarterback, first of all. An established starter who has made it clear they both want to get a deal done, but nothing is close. And Baker made it clear that he is not going to negotiate once camp gets here. In Jacoby Brissett's case, I think he'll negotiate till the cows come home.
Sure.
And because it's a different situation altogether. Now, Manuch, your second question was perfect. What was it again?
If he does get the pay raise before camp,
yeah,
is he automatically the number? Because they're talking about competition, but if he gets the bump, I would think they would say you're number one. I don't think they give him a $10 to $12 million, for example, and say, well, now you got to compete.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't think compensation takes away from competition. I think you still have to earn it.
Sure, I get that.
I'm not saying he hasn't, but I think he's got some making up to do a little bit to prove it. If they're going to pay him a lot of money, they might just very well go ahead and name him. But again, guys, we're missing the point. The big picture here is Jacoby's not going to be the starter for, the whole season. Sure. He's going to start the season if he ends up doing that. And then at some point we're going to see Carson back if we don't see Gardner Minshew first. I think it'll be Carson back and Minshew will stay in the background. But I'm for any of them starting at this point. I really don't care, honestly.
When you say that, have you already kicked the season to the curb?
Let's put it this way. If I was a season ticket holder, I would have stopped buying season tickets a long time ago.
Wow.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would concur with that, Bob. I think a lot of folks would concur with that.
I don't root for any teams. You guys know me. I don't do that. I don't. It's not part of my DNA. It never has been. And so it's easy for me to say that. There isn't a team that I would buy season tickets for, quite frankly. Not that big a deal to me. I spent my whole lifetime covering game.
Yep.
Why would I want to do it on my days off? I mean, sorry, I'm not like everybody. But, I don't know. I could do better things with money like that, in my opinion. Just my opinion. That's it. I love the fact that there are season ticket holders out there who are still clinging on.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I pray for them sometimes.
What you're saying, Bob, is God loves them too, right?
Yeah.
Hey, before we let you
at Cardinal fans, people too, right?
Yes, exactly. Hey, before I let you go, the emphasis seemed to have very heavy emphasis on the running game with Love, Algier, Trey Benson, Connor. Who would be the odd man out at this point in time? Is it James Conner if Benson is healthy? You got 1, 2, 3, and then Connor's the odd man out. And from that standpoint, could there be some kind of a move before camp if Connor's healthy and somebody could pick him up?
Yes, on both of those fronts. I think both of them are possible trade candidates. At least one of them I don't expect to be around much longer after the season starts if either are here at that point. Anyways, I think you need to keep depth. That's something Mike LaFleur made it a point of saying when I asked about how he plans to deploy this crazy depth they have. And it seems a little, overkill with 4 guys who were once considered or are considered, pretty top echelon guys. And he made it a point, running backs don't last long because of the propensity for getting pounded on every day, every game. So I think you'd be careful about trading one or both during camp and or during the preseason. I think you play it out a little bit. Now, if you get an offer for one of those guys and it's too good to pass up, you take it, I think, because I can live with 3 good running backs. I don't need 6, and I can live with 3 good ones and 3 backups. So, yeah. But again, I think it's coming later. Once the season gets underway, we see if they're as bad as we think or if they surprise and are better than we think because of the running game.
Always good, pal, when you take time to come on the show. Thank you as always.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Roberto.
Bobby Mack. Once again, AZ Bobby Mack. That's where you can find him on X at AZ Bobby Mack. He's presented today by All City Towing. It's Arizona's largest towing company. Look, if you're stranded or if you just need professional transport, All City Towing has the experience to get the job done right. The best part is you can contact them 24/7. That's right. You're in a jam 24/7. All City Towing will come and help you. By the way, if you're looking for a new gig, they're looking for drivers and dispatchers right now. So you can join the winning team. Just go online and check it out. allcitytowing.com, search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com, search careers. It is All City Towing. When we come back, Lerner and Rowe, one call, that's all, as we continue until 4 o'clock. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Father's Day shopping starts at Vans Golf Shops. Get Dad new clubs with Callaway. Trade in your current clubs and get 2 times the bonus trade-in towards any new Quantum, X-Forge, Apex, Riva clubs. Need more ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards in any amount, plus our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I
was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Yeah, I think, I thought when he came into the league, he was a guy that was, looked like he was going to be a heck of a sixth man or, instant scorer off the bench or, a spark plug, but maybe just contributing off the bench or, but a third or fourth option. Now you're talking about the guy being the best Nick of all time. I think he's just transformed his game into a superstar. I mean, he's flat out there's no other way to put it. He's a superstar and he does so many things for that team and so many things for that franchise. And now, probably the biggest thing that's happened to that city in a long time. So, I mean, it's big time. I just think, like I said, I've always been fans of the guys that are, under the radar and underdogs. And he is a perfect example for any young athlete out there that, don't listen to anything that anybody has to say. Just, try to find your lane and keep your head down and hammer away.
That is Kyle Dodd earlier on the show today. ASU former point guard, now longtime radio analyst, discussing Jalen Brunson and the performance that we saw from him in the NBA Finals. I alluded to the fact that the only guard to ever lead the NBA in scoring and assists in one season was Nate Tiny Archibald. And Manuch, you remember, I asked him, I said, could Brunson possibly do that? Kyle Dodd thought about it, and he said, yeah, he could. He's that good right now.
You brought up Nate Tiny Archibald. We saw him play at Arizona Western College.
Yes.
When he was at JUCO there. We were living down in Yuma at the time, and that was early, mid-'60s. So my dad would take us over to the Kofa gym, Kofa High School, and Arizona Western would play there. That's where they had their home games.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, because Nate Tiny Archibald, you don't forget. And then when you saw him move on, where did he go to? El Paso?
UTEP. And then he had great years in the Kansas City Omaha Kings, and then in Boston with the Celtics.
So we followed him because it's like, wow, this guy's going to UTEP? Wow. Remember Nate Tiny Archibald at Arizona Western? He went to, played pro basketball, so you watched him. It was the same thing with Charlie Weaver, who came out of Arizona Western, went to USC as a football player.
Okay.
Played pro ball with the Green Bay Packers. So you followed those guys, growing up. So I agree. I think watching Jalen Brunson grow, the last couple, 2-3 years, he's really, he's not only put himself on the map, but he's put the Knicks on the map. And I was talking a little bit earlier about, the president of basketball operations, Leon Rose, who was hired in 2020. And he kind of subtly told James Dolan, hey, let me do my job in a way. And his whole philosophy was, hey, look, I'm going to take a bunch of these underdog winning players, and I want to build a championship team. And he did that.
He did.
It came to fruition.
Yeah.
And I think of the Nova Knicks. I think of Josh Hart. I think of Mikal Bridges. And I think of
Jalen Brunson. Yeah.
And his whole thing was, look, if they could win two national titles back to back, he said, I know at least those three guys, I have confidence, know what it takes to win at any level.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that, I went, wow, that's very truthful for a lot of these general managers or presidents. If you win at one level and you win at the next level, you understand what it takes. And to have those three guys off the two national championship teams at Villanova is incredible. But his whole philosophy was, I want to take the guys that want to be here. I want to take the guys that feel a little underdogish, if you will, get a little chip on their shoulder. And you can see Jalen Brunson, he won't tell you. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's said many times that I'm here to improve my game. He won't say it, but he knows that there was a lot of doubt with Jalen Brunson, especially when he got traded from Dallas to the Knicks, and they gave him the big bucks, right?
Yes,
everybody. And their mother said, there's no way, not this kid.
Yeah.
He's not Allen Iverson reincarnated. Well, look at him now. And not only did he take the money, he acquiesced on some of the money, $100 million for Leon Rose to have that money freed up to go get some of those other individuals, to make those trades for the Catman and for Mikal Bridges and for Josh Hart and for Anunoby, who didn't even play on the Toronto team when they won the title there. He was hurt. So he gave up some of that cash, which a lot of players, a lot of agents were very upset with him because they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're degrading the market. He didn't care. He wanted to win, and that's exactly what this young man is doing.
Interesting, because there was an interview the other day with Mark Cuban, who owned the Dallas Mavericks at the time, and they asked him about Jalen Brunson. He said, when we traded him, we didn't think he was going to be like that.
Nobody did.
Nobody did. Didn't think he was going to be like that. Tremendous. That is our Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Interact. Need a check? Just make one call at 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com. Once again, one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. What's on tap tonight? Presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official partner of three really cool guys on the radio, that being Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, available at all 5 Twin Peaks locations. And tonight we have Major League Baseball. It's on MLB.com. Also, you can find it 34 channel on Cox and 686 DirecTV. It is the Angels at the Diamondbacks. World Cup soccer action tonight. Argentina with Messi against Algeria, 6 o'clock tonight on Fox. That game was played in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. I saw some of the early reports out of there. It is going to be nuts in Kansas City.
The tailgating in soccer is a whole nother level than the National Football League or college. But tonight, Merrill Kelly taking the bump, 5-5, 5.46 ERA against Detmers, who's been struggling, 2-5, a 4.00 ERA. The pitching's been fairly decent these last couple nights. And nice to see Ryan Nelson, I thought, pitched very well. The night before, you saw Zach Gallen, I thought, pitched very well. It's just a matter of them getting the runs. Matter of fact, lads, I was having you a little bit earlier. We were talking about runners in scoring position. We talked about 3 weeks ago, how this team, the Diamondbacks, led it. Where are they currently at right now? Are they at the bottom, at the top, close there? Where they are as far as runners in scoring position?
So we mentioned, like you said, they were 2 for 37 or something like that after that Marlins series.
Right.
Their last 7 games, they're actually 12 for their last 37 or 38.
Okay.
So they're batting 300 with runners in scoring position. So it's obvious that the trend is they're starting to win more games. They're starting to hit with guys in scoring position. It goes hand in hand.
And I did look up as far as team batting average. They're second to the bottom from the San Diego Padres. So hopefully get the bats going. The pitching seems to be coming around, but you've got to win series versus the Angels and the Twins and just kind of get your groove on.
Got to take advantage of that. Who's on the show tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll talk about former Major League pitcher Mike Moore. We'll have our AmBet segment. Little campus quickies, ASU, NAU, and U of A. And then Steve Jones, the 1996 U.S. Open champion.
Thank you, everybody. Laz, great stuff. We'll see you tomorrow. ESPN 620.
And it's Testimonial Tuesday from Ready Services.